Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Grace Road, Leicester for Lightning versus Thunder in the Charlotte Edwards Cup. What a delight it is to be able to welcome you on a sunny day, the sun pouring down through just a smattering of clouds on the blue sky above us. Plenty of greenery around, as there always is when you're at Leicestershire County Cricket Club. Of course, it's part of the team colours and the team badge, of course, with that red fox on. The umpires are on their way out to the middle as well, and we can tell you that here for this Charlotte Edwards Cup game, the toss has been won by Thunder, and they have elected to bat. My name is Mike Perkins. I am alongside Hannah Thompson-Radford from Women's Cricket Chat. Absolute delight to have Hannah with us. We will bring her in just a moment. But having sort of brought you here, brought you to Grace Road and allowed you to sort of get a feel for what the smattering of spectators are seeing at the moment, I think we'd better start with the teams. Now, Thunder, quite predictable, no changes. We'd expect that after beating the Northern Diamonds by 56 runs in their previous game. I saw that there at Sale, fantastic game. But Lightning, two changes, and for me, they're interesting ones. We'll get Hannah Thompson-Radford's thoughts on these in just a moment. But Lightning line up like this. They make two changes. Kirsty Gordon drops out, and Josie Groves comes in. And Grace Ballinger is replaced by Ella Claridge. So it's Marie Kelly, Tammy Beaumont, Sarah Bryce, Catherine Bryce, Teresa Graves, Bethan Ellis, Ella Claridge, Sophie Munro, Piper Cleary, Lucy Hyam, and Josie Groves. Now, for Thunder, as we say, they're unchanged. Emma Lamb, Georgie Boyce, Danielle Collins, Ellie Threlkeld, Sachi Pai, Laura Marshall, Laura Jackson, Phoebe Graham, Sophia Turner, Hannah Jones, and Alex Harley. As I say, the visitors team for me is a lot more straightforward than the home side's team here. Is that your view on it, Hannah Thompson-Radford? What are you making of the teams here?
Yeah, absolutely. So Thunder obviously are coming back after a fantastic win against the Northern Diamonds, and why would you change that? If it's not broken, don't try to fix it. Lightning are struggling with a few injuries at the moment, and youngster Josie Groves coming in is going to be a perfect opportunity for her. Ella Claridge coming back in, she's an absolute gun with the bat, so really exciting prospect for her as well, but it is a little bit of a shame for Grace Ballinger.
Well, it is because, I mean, I'd written it here in my notes. Made 50 for Leicestershire and took 3 for 14, let's get that the right way round, at Grace Road in the East Midlands section of the County T20 Finals Day. I was really looking forward to seeing if she could repeat that performance, but we've no word yet. We got the teams quite early, actually. Maybe we should have pushed our luck and tried to get a bit more information and find out. I presume Kirsty Gordon, I know she's carrying a niggle, as Hyam comes to start the bowling to Georgie Boyce, who made 65 the other day and has continued in that good form by pulling that one away towards the mid-wicket boundary. It'll only be one run, though. So one without loss is the Thunder score in the early stages of this game. Emma Lamb taking a guard. But yeah, I wanted to see if Ballinger could repeat that. I did see pre-season Kirsty Gordon on crutches, so I assume she's carrying a little bit of something, and maybe that's played up and is the reason she's not in the team to begin with. Hyam to bowl again then, second ball of the match. Lamb's immediately on the sweep. She's trying to beat Teresa Graves, who's on the 45. Doesn't manage to do so, though, and through for the single is Georgie Boyce, obligingly. She was talking in glowing terms about the relationship these two have at the crease, and it's two without loss. Hannah Thompson-Radford.
Yeah, they certainly was, and the preview.
Just bring you this ball from Hyam, which is pulled away into the leg side. There's a tumbling effort at a stop out there by Munro, and another single added to the board. 3 without loss. Hannah Thompson-Radford.
Yeah, so the preview that the Thunder have written up and shared across social media is really worth a read. So definitely have a look at some of those quotes. They've really opened up there about their partnership.
Here is Hyam to bowl. It's a good ball, that, actually, because it just, as an off-spinner should, particularly bowl into a right-hander around the wicket, which is an unusual strategy, but she got it turning back from sort of off-stump towards kind of middle and leg, maybe even just outside off-stump. What can she produce again? So a dot ball from the last one. Lamb will score this time, turning it away into the leg side. There's one on offer. Boyce threw obligingly, as we said earlier in the over. 4 without loss, the score goes to. A steady but a good start from the Thunder so far. Lightning, though, won't be too displeased with what they've shown, as this one is pulled away by Georgie Boyce out towards the mid-wicket boundary. There will just be the one run on offer once again. It's rather been the order of the first over singles. 5 of them in it, 5 without loss at the end of the first over. What do you make of that, Hannah Thompson-Radford? Also, just to quickly say to people, delighted to have 115 of you early birds watching with us already. Make sure you hit the like button, because the little thumbs up below the stream, because that helps people find us. Hannah Thompson-Radford.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Lucy Hine would be absolutely happy with that first over. It's a role that she doesn't get to do too often either, so to see her opening up is really interesting, and hopefully something that she'll continue throughout the rest of the season. So just for 5 from it, and it looks like it's going to be Marie Kelly coming on next. Obviously, she's the ambidextrous bowler. A lot of excitement around that. And
There is. You interviewed her pre-season as well.
I did, yeah. I had to find out what was going on with her unreal form.
Yes, yeah. Well, I mean, pre-season, particularly that game against the Sunrisers, I scribbled down, and I'll just turn the page in a moment as Marie Kelly looks to turn the ball. It's a good ball on the stumps, and it's a dot ball to start with from Marie Kelly. There was only one of those in the previous over, so she'll be happy with that. But yeah, against the Sunrisers in particular, she made a really impressive 101 across the 2 matches. That one's turned to Sophie Munro, and again there won't be a run on offer for Georgie Boyce, who's just feeling in her way into this innings, and she did it at a strike rate of 240.48, which is quite something. More than 2 a ball, well more than 2 a ball, as Beaumont does the fielding on the offside here, as this one is hit away by Boyce for the first run of the over. Takes a score to 6 without loss.
Yeah, she just found the gap slightly though, because it almost looked like it was going to go to Tammy Beaumont there, but
it was uppish, wasn't it?
It was a little bit risky.
Worryingly uppish from a Thunder perspective, I think you'd say. As Kelly has, well, certainly she's had the better analysis from her first 3 balls than Hyam, who's turned away for singles. But as you said, neither of them will be too bothered at this stage. We have sort of ring field on each side as, that one creeps by outside the off stump, and she's sort of, it's almost Lamb's played for the turn and didn't find a huge amount there, and just sort of offered the bat, dot ball. So yeah, we have short cover, a cover point and a mid-off in front of square on the offside as Lamb advances this time but has to block. We've got a mid-wicket and a mid-on, as well as the 2 fielders back are at a deep sort of straight mid-wicket and a backward square leg on the leg side. We also have 45 behind square and a fielder just behind point on the offside. Oh dear, that's going to be a no ball, and it's hit out into the leg side. The batters change ends. They only get 1 run. Lamb will be disappointed by that, because she usually absolutely obliterates a full toss, and she didn't quite get hold of that one. 7 without loss. Boyce comes on to strike. We will have a free hit, I believe. I didn't quite see the signal. I usually miss the little whirly ice cream thing. There we go. He's doing it now. He's doing it now. Good lad. No, I missed that the other day, but fortunately I didn't get free hitted like I did last year, where I thought it was out. And as this one's hit down the ground, and it's going to be 4 runs. First boundary, and it's come off the free hit. 12 without loss, and Georgie Boyce looking to pick up where she left off with that 65 against Diamond. She brought that up with a 6. Couldn't quite match it there, but an impressive shot down the ground. But yeah, you never like getting free hitted. I got done last season in the tour game between Thunder and Ireland. And I was thinking, and for about 5 minutes, me and I think it was Scott Reed was on with me, and we were talking for about 5 minutes about, it looked as if they caught it, and then we realised, oh no, we've been free hitted. Yeah. It can happen. Anyway, end of the over, 12 without loss. Hannah Thompson-Radford with myself, Mike Perkins, on the Lightning Cricket stream.
Yeah, they won't be complaining about that, the Lightning, so...
Here's Hyam, just bowling to Lamb, who drives straight down the ground, back to Hyam, no run.
So yeah, I was going to say, with Thunder's perspective, they know that their openers do start a little bit slow at times, so an early breakthrough from Lightning is what they really want in this moment.
Here's Hyam turning back towards the stumps. Lamb in watchful form on a crease, just drops the bat on it, and there is no run once again. So a good start to the over from Hyam, but she's seen Marie Kelly start an over well and then concede the first boundary after a full toss. Oh, just cut over the top of that, did Lamb. Danger of getting a thin little bottom edge through to Sarah Bryce, the ever watchful Sarah Bryce, as rather embarrassingly my phone goes in the background, so I hope you've all enjoyed that at home. But anyway, 12 without loss is the score. Lamb just feeling away into this over. There's the first runs of it from the 4th ball, turned away out to the onside where the fielding is done by Marie Kelly, and that is just 1 more to the total, 13 without loss. Higham again. Bowls, and Boyce turns into the leg side, but again, can't find a run. Watchful stuff from the Thunder batters. They've benefited from that boundary in the last over, but they want to keep capitalising. Long on's out for Higham here, as well as the fielder Marie Kelly. Now, there's a big appeal, but the angle, I think, was against the bowler here. I'm just watching on the replay, and my feeling was it was perhaps either turning down leg side or perhaps even pitched outside leg because of the fact Highams coming around the wicket, which is an unusual strategy to take. 13 without loss is the score at the end of the third over of the game.
Yeah, she certainly will not be complaining about that. A really tidy over there from Higham and really building up that pressure now. So it looks like it'll be Marie Kelly back on, and these two have been bowling really well in partnership.
Yeah, best over of the lot, that one, I think you have to say, from Higham, and came closest to a wicket. Too short from Kelly. It's been pulled away into the leg side. Higham picks up on the mid-wicket boundary, having bowled the previous over, although I suppose for spinners it's not too bad. It's only a couple of paces, isn't it? You can do a bit of running round in between. 14 without loss, the score. Reminder, you're listening to the Lightning Cricket stream here at Grace Road as Marie Kelly bowls. Down the wicket comes Boyce and cut that away and found the gap well. 4 runs for Georgie Boyce. First boundary off a legitimate delivery, if you like, off one that isn't a free hit where there was no risk to it. And she's come down the track, and generally Boyce will go straight, but she went square there, just used the wrist. Really good shot.
Yeah, no, excellent placement. And this could be the start of her trying to accelerate a little bit more.
18 without loss. Marie Kelly to bowl, short of a length, pulled down to long on. Piper Cleary will stride in and pick up the tall, slender figure, returns the ball. The Western Australian, who's moved between these two sides. Always a little bit of interest there, isn't there?
There certainly is. Yep, I wonder what's going on in the Thunder camp.
Here is Marie Kelly to throw one up outside the off stump, and again Boyce trying to give herself room. In fact, it was Lamb this time rather trying to give herself room. Set off for the single. Boyce was less keen on it. I mean, they were talking about their understanding, but they nearly didn't show it there. But I noticed they did that a lot against Diamonds, actually. Boyce is quite happy to send Lamb back. Lamb's quite sort of keen on the one, but Boyce will send her back if she has to. Now, this is a late cut. That's a very delicate stroke there from Emma Lamb, and he'll go away for 4 more runs. 4 more much-needed runs from a Thunder perspective. They'll be happy with that. 23 without loss. They build their batting around these two, and they've given them another good start here today, and they accelerated through that innings. You felt Lamb was the first to go, and then Boyce followed her after Lamb's wicket, and they'll be looking for something similar, you would imagine. Here's Kelly. The spinners bowling, so we're rapidly ticking through these, and this time they will go for the single. This time Boyce does want it, and the throw coming in from Bethan Ellis is wide of the keeper, Sarah Bryce. It still only costs 1 run, though. 24 without loss after 4 overs. Your thoughts so far, Hannah Thompson-Radford from Women's Cricket Chat?
Yeah, I think we're starting to see these two batters start to try and attack a little bit more. They've played themselves in. They're starting to attack and try and get those boundary balls. Lightning haven't done too much wrong at the moment. Hopefully they are building up those pressures for those dot balls. It looks like it's going to be a change of bowler. Perhaps Sophie Monroe, by the looks of things, get a bit of pace on and see if she can get the breakthrough. Yeah,
Sophie Monroe, who had KSL experience with, well, they were then the Yorkshire Diamonds, now of course Northern Diamonds in the regional structure. Now they've brought the likes of Durham and Northumberland into their remit, if you like. Of course, we've seen a former Women's Cricket Chat guest, Ollie Ray, move up to Northumberland, I think, as Sophie Monroe bowls just back of a length and played away, trying to give herself room there was Lamb, but didn't quite manage it, just ended up fiddling it really into the offside. Score remains 24 without loss.
Yep, had to just triple check it. Definitely was Sophie Monroe. Right from up here, we've got an amazing view from up here, but
I do hope so, but yes, it is. I took your word
is.
there.
It definitely is.
In comes Sophie Monroe. Right arm over the wicket from the Bennett end, and it's played away into the leg side. There'll be at least 1 on offer, and only 1 on offer. 25 without loss is the score. The beautiful score box away to our left-hand side with the black front and the white letters on it and the clock on top and the little golden fox weather vane. Absolutely gorgeous scoreboard here, and it's absolutely rapid, lightning fast. you enjoy that as a commentator because it means you can rely on it until this ball. Well, we can't. Let's see. As Georgie Boyce drives it away into the offside, there's going to be one on offer. There didn't look as if there was necessarily going to be one on offer for a moment, but there was. And the score moves on to 26 without loss. You with Mike Perkins and Hannah Thompson-Radford.
Yeah, she kind of stuttered for a second there, but put the fielder under pressure, and that's what you've got to do in the T20 game, isn't it? So turn those kind of dot balls into singles, really build up the pressure, and just take away the momentum from the Lightning side.
Yep, they're doing that well, and they found the boundary in the Marie Kelly over, and or in fact both Marie Kelly overs, so they'll be quite happy with that. As Munro bowls Bennett End, it's turned away into the leg side. There's at least one on offer. The fumble out there, I think by Teresa Graves. I'll just double check that in a moment. Didn't cost didn't cost an extra run there, so they'll be quite happy with that. 27 without loss. We're coming up towards, well, we're still in the middle of the fifth over, really, aren't we?
Yep.
4 balls is definitely the middle of the fifth over. As Munro comes in, and she's going to bowl from the Bennett End. It's short of a length. The umpire, I think it's Anna Harris down there, it is going to no ball it. Well, she was having a good look. She gave that tilt of the head, the way umpires do when they're just contemplating something. And Anna Harris has decided it is a no ball. She's given the whirly ice cream sign. Luckily, the commentator has spotted it, so he's not going to say anything silly. And we are going to have another free hit. Now, the last one went for 4 from Georgie Boyce. What? Ooh! Now she's made the little dance floor move with the hands across her in front, and they've gone 1 for the over. The square leg umpire has corrected that. So, well, there we go. A little bit of
Drama.
different ideas from the two umpires, but it's square leg as opposed to advice, and they did so, and Harris changed her decision. And there is a single on offer there to Georgie Boyce. 29 the score moves on to, so it wasn't quite as exciting as that ball potentially was going to be there, Hannah.
Yeah, but it's one thing that I'm seeing more and more in the women's game is seeing these shorter deliveries and really putting the batter under some pressure. We see it in the men's game quite a lot.
Well, last week, actually, hello everyone, by the way, on the live stream. We're probably a little bit behind there, but last week we saw Beth Langston really put it through, which I've never seen her do. As this one's played away into the leg side, bounces once just in front of Tammy Beaumont, I think it is there, the England international with 199 caps across all competitions. She will have been disappointed not to stop that. It was a difficult one. It was bouncing just in front of her, but she's such a good fielder. You would have maybe expected it. And it was a much needed boundary because it takes him back above the one of ball mark up to 33 without loss after 5 overs.
Yeah, very much needed. And Lightning are going to be really trying to think about their options. Catherine Bryce bringing herself onto bowl. She's sorting out her field at the moment. So let's see what she's going to do. Obviously, she's just come back from the Fairbreak competition. She's featured in the last 2 fixtures for the Lightning as well. So on that first opening home match, she did arrive 10 p.m. the night before.
Yes.
And then played against the Diamonds.
But back to your point on short bowling, as I say, it's not something I would have ever gone, Beth Langston's going to be somebody who could really put through a quick short one, but she did last week. In fact, it actually was almost too high. It was almost like the one Anna Harris signalled there. But Bryce is on her way.
Yep, Bryce is coming into bowl now. And she bowls it, and it gets pushed across, and they're going to make a single from this one. Lucy Hyam just mopping up. Throw comes in, and this. Oh, yep. So it looked like it almost went for an overthrow, but well backed up, and the score turns to 35, 34.
Yeah, no, it was. It looked. You were right. It looked as if there was almost going to be an overthrow there, but it wasn't.
So Catherine comes into bowl again. On the offside, they push it across, and again, little fumble.
Tight single that, but they're putting pressure on the fielders,
Really,
aren't they?
really putting on the pressure here. So 35 for naught here. So she returns to her mark. And Bryce is steaming in now. And bowls it. Again, finding that in swing. Again, just pushed across. Lucy Hyam mopping up once more. Throw comes in. It's a rapid arm from Lucy Hyam, and it gets returned back to Catherine Bryce now, who's looking at the ball thinking, what can I do next? How can I disrupt this partnership?
We'll speak about rapid arms in a moment.
And she comes in and she bowls it. And again to Hyam. Absolute magnet in the field there. And the batters are rotating the strike for 37 for naught.
Yeah, of course, over-eager arms caused a bit of a problem for the Sunrisers the other day, didn't it? You're almost reluctant to mention it, but
Yeah.
it was such a dramatic finish. Really caught social media by storm.
So Bryce comes in once more. And it looks like it's going to trickle across to the boundary, but Hyam is going to mop it up once more. So she's done absolutely sterling job out there. Comes round to reduce that just to the single. So it's now gone up to 39 for naught.
Yeah, good work from Hyam there. We were saying she only has to come in off a couple of paces so she can do some running. Well, she's certainly done her share this over.
And Bryce is coming in once again. In swing. Again, it's pushed across. And it looks like it's Piper Cleary who's going to just tidy that one up for the single. So batters did really well there to rotate the strike, and Thunder are now on 40 off of their 6 overs.
Very good point, because I need to write that down. 40 off 6 overs is the power play score then for Lightning. Thank you to the nearly 450 of you who have joined us already on the stream, have already found the stream. It will have been tweeted out, but make sure you spread that word, make sure you retweet it, let anyone you know who'd be interested in these Charlotte Edwards Cup games find these streams, because of course it's a busy day of cricket. There's all the county championship stuff on as well today, so there's lots for us sort of to compete with. In the early game, South East Stars, they played Western Storm and they won by 7 wickets, chasing down that total. And it was Western Storm the other day who benefited from one of the, in fact, I'm going to say the best fielder in English cricket, Maddie Villiers. I think I would put her up with that. And clearly the adrenaline was going in front of that big crowd at Chelmsford as Sophie Monroe comes in and bowls, and Boyce just forces away into the leg side. Another one on offer, 41 without loss. Neat little stroke that from Boyce, and her and Lamb are going along well. But clearly the adrenaline was going in. She's got such a powerful arm, and she fizzes it in each time that she just went too far. Cost the well, it was 6 it cost them in the end, I believe, because they completed 2 runs plus the 4 as Monroe comes in again. It's down the leg side and it's a wide ball, 42 without loss. We haven't seen too many of those. They've been disciplined, Lightning, but there is an extra there, and of course the free hit from Marie Kelly for the no ball cost them a boundary as well. But it was one of those moments, wasn't it, where, and the camera stayed on Maddie Villiers, and oh my goodness me, and that's, I think, what people could empathise with that. We've all been there when we've made a mistake, haven't we? As that one plays and misses there, does Emma Lamb outside the off stump, can't connect on that occasion, but having got the wide of the previous one, she might not be too worried about that. But we've kind of all been in that situation. I think that's why it caught light on social media. Yeah,
and the thing with Maddie Villiers, as you said, she's one of England's best fielders at the moment, but it was one of those things. Did she want to kind of stop the 2?
Here comes Sophie Monroe, and she bowls to Emma Lamb, and the ball is played out into the offside. It will be the ever-eager Hyam to get across and do the fielding, and I took my eye off the ball for a second there, and I got a little bit worried that it hit the stumps and something exciting had happened, but luckily it hadn't. 44 without loss is the score, and we are in fantastic sunshine here at Grace Road. The Leicestershire flag on the flagpole is fluttering away with the red fox of the badge on there and the white lettering of Leicestershire County Cricket Club as Emma Lamb turns this one into the leg side. There is a single on offer, 45 without loss. But today, it's all about the women in the Charlotte Edwards Cup. It's all about Lightning against Thunder, which rather amuses your mate Georgie Heath, that one, doesn't it? She calls it, what is it, the Queen Derby, the Bohemian Rhapsody Derby. This one is her... is sort of how she tries to build it up as Monroe bowls. Oh, there's an inside edge from Boyce. I was worried for her there. I thought that was going to end in some clattering stumps. It's done a bit of damage to the bottom of Boyce's bat, but the only damage in the scorebook is a dot ball rather than a big W next to the name of Georgie Boyce and a bold Monroe being scrawled in, which could have happened there. Monroe turns again. As I say, do hit that little thumbs up button as you're watching Lightning Cricket on YouTube. It'll help others find us. As Boyce drives away, and it's gotten through past Catherine Bryce, I think it is, there on the edge of the square. It's 4 more runs. It takes Thunder onto 49 without loss. They will be very happy with this start indeed, because this was almost exactly what they did against the Diamonds. They had a decent power play where they kept it above 1 a ball, and then they accelerated from there. 49 without loss at the end of the 7th over. They've already accelerated that scoring rate up to 7s. Fantastic to have you all with us, and also fantastic to have Hannah Thompson-Radford from Women's Cricket Chat alongside myself, Mike Perkins.
Perfect. Yeah, they will be so happy with that. Lightning, on the other hand, will perhaps not be, and they'll be looking to strike through. Change of bowler here. It looks like it's going to be Josie Groves coming on.
Oh, yes. Now, this is interesting, isn't it? Player into the side. No Kirsty Gordon. So big shoes to fill.
Yep, Catherine Bryce has cited her as a really interesting prospect. Obviously, she's a young gun coming in, so let's see what she's got. She bowls it. And it's a good start. It's gone for a single. But there won't be too much complaining about that at all. And the score now goes up to 50 for naught, so the opening pair have brought up their 50.
Really good start this from Thunder. Lightning needing wickets to keep them in check.
And it's gone aerial and just bounces, 1 bounce into Lucy Hyam's hands there. Difficult one there. Could she have gone for it perhaps? But it's one of those where if you do go for it and miss it, you're going to look like an absolute idiot.
I think if we'd been playing a couple of strips over, that'd have carried, but we're right on the left edge of the square.
As Grove comes into bowl, pushes her back a little bit, but they are going to take the single. A little fumble in the field, but really good stuff from the youngster here.
Mention the scores elsewhere. South East Stars winning the first game of the day by 7 wickets. Here, of course, we are 52 without loss with the Thunder batting against Lightning.
And Groves comes in once again, pushes Boyce back a little bit off the back foot, and it just goes for a single.
Tammy Beaumont out there with the fielding. So Central Sparks, they are 29 for 1 against the Sunrisers. They're in the 6th over there, so round about 1 a ball there as well.
And Groves comes in with her spin, and it gets cut away. It looks like it's going to hit. Yep, it's gone straight through for 4.
We've actually seen there, haven't we, the sort of where we're playing on the square, because it's very short on that offside when the bowling's from this pavilion end, but it's very long on the leg side, one of the biggest fields in the country, even bigger than the Oval. They brought it in a bit, but it dropped short of Hyam one side, and then Beaumont had no chance on the other side.
Yep, so Groves comes in once again, scores on 57 for naught. It goes aerial again, but it's straight to the fielder, and the batter's done a good job backing up there. So Lamb's just absolutely worn one, unfortunately.
She's done the fielding jobs, the fielder's job for them.
She
that's
has
not
indeed. So end of over, and it's 58 for naught for the Thunder. Still without a wicket. Lightning will be definitely searching to break up this partnership now. So Boyce is on 27 off 23 balls, and Lamb's on 28 off 27.
Yeah, and particularly I think, given the way the previous game that Thunder played went, and how they sort of did a very similar thing, and it just seems to be creeping up gradually here. I'm sure it'll flash up in the over, but I'm going to have to get my calculator out to work out the exact run rate. There we go, 7.25. It's popped up on my screen now slightly. I'm sure it's probably disappeared from yours by now, because we'll obviously be slightly behind you. But 58 without loss at a run rate of 7.25, which is very handy indeed. Now this, to me, looks like Munro is going to be continuing from the Bennett end, the far end where we've parked the cars and where the bus is, to send the way back. No, it's not. It's Piper Cleary who's come on to bowl. There we go. I've been completely done there. Dot ball for Piper Cleary. She'll be quite happy with that as a start to the over.
They do look quite similar, to be fair, and our view at the moment is an amazing view, but I've had to put my sunglasses on with the prescription in because I can't quite see otherwise. But it is Piper Cleary, who obviously played for Thunder last year.
Yeah, I can't blame the contact lenses for that one. I just hadn't, I wasn't being observant enough. I was trying to look the run rate up for, which was probably less important than who was bowling. Here's Piper Cleary on her way in from the Bennett end. She's pacing in as the Western Australian, and she delivers, and this one is hit in the air. Will it be caught? No, it's gone down. It's gone down at mid-off. It definitely carried for me, that one, and there's going to be overthrows as well to add to the ignominy there of the dropped catch. Looked like it might have been Josie Groves into the side down there. I'll just have to double check that one, but it didn't. It just carried, but I think it comfortably carried. 60 without loss the score.
Yep, I definitely think that's going down as a drop. In the fielding notes,
here comes Piper Cleary to bowl, turned away by Emma Lamb into the leg side, picks up 1. 31 Emma Lamb moves on to 61 the score, and they got back for 2 there, didn't they? So it was Lamb who was dropped up at mid-off with the score on 60, and Lamb had 30 at the time. Boyce was on 27 at the other end. How costly will that prove for the Lightning? It feels as if it could be a big moment in the game as Boyce looks to make immediate impact, but it bounces up kindly on that occasion to Marie Kelly out on the fence, and there is just the 1 run on offer on that occasion, 62 without loss.
Yeah, and Lightning have a really good fielding coach in John Bateson as well, who really understands the women's games especially, has done a lot of research in the area.
Here comes Cleary again, striding in, ponytail going from side to side behind her. Lamb attempted a scoop, she'd gone right out across outside the off stump, and that's she got the toe of the bat on it as well, but very strange to send a scoop to mid-wicket. I thought it had wrapped her on the pad potentially, but we're behind the batter at the moment from the pavilion end. 5 balls of the Cleary over gone, 5 runs scored, 63 without loss the score. Thank you so much for joining us on the Lightning Cricket stream on YouTube. Do make sure you spread the word, let people know that it's happening today as Cleary comes in once again. We might even have a few over in Perth in Western Australia. Hello if you're watching over there, as that one is returned sharply by Tammy Beaumont, doing the sweeping on the leg side with Marie Kelly. 64 without loss the total then at the end of the 9th over, but the most notable part of it was the Emma Lamb being dropped on 30 with the score on 60. I mean, is that going to prove crucial, Hannah Thompson-Radford? This is a player who has now got international experience, was the 2nd highest run scorer in this competition last year.
It certainly probably will be, won't it? Because, like you just summed it up perfectly. Like, Lamb is such a destructive batter, and you need to get her out early. She's already got 32, a decent score. But we've got Josie Groves returning again as she just comes into bowl, and it's cut straight to a fielder, no run. So 64 for naught.
And these are the standards, aren't they, in high performance cricket? I mean, Groves coming into the side, and it's those little margins, and she's got the ball in hand now.
She gives it quite a bit of air on that one, and it's going through just to Hyam for a single, and the score turns over to 65 for naught as Boyce is on 30 and Lamb's on 32.
Hyam this over out of deep mid-wicket. She has got somebody for company out there at backward square leg though on this occasion.
So Groves goes in again, and that's going for 4. Absolute switch paddle sweep shot. Love the creativity that's happening here now. So Lamb is really looking to just try and find her options. Hits the boundary, and it's much needed for the Thunder, who are looking to accelerate now. 69 for naught.
There you go. I think that'll be your first reverse paddle sweep to have described, and you did it very well, because it's not the easiest shot in the book, that one.
I was trying to think what it was called.
69 for naught, Groves on her way.
And it's just cut to a fielder. Fielder throws it in, and she's safe. But again, fielders are getting put under pressure here. Looks like it was Ella Claridge out there perhaps, and the ball gets returned to Josie Groves, who will be looking to get this breakthrough now.
Yes, I thought it was Marie Kelly from it, because I'm used to seeing Claridge with the gloves on, but of course she's in the field today.
And that won't be a run there, straight into the keeper's gloves, and the ball gets passed back around the field.
I mean, the fielding was lightning fast. It did come off the bat, though.
It absolutely
to mid-wicket,
was.
but yeah, well returned by Ellis. No run.
So Groves comes in once more. Lovely flighted. Great cricket all round. If it was a direct hit, that would have been slightly tense. Would have needed a review, but I don't think we have that here, unfortunately.
No, although we do have a lovely little replay in front of us that we've set up with a very old iPad. And I think Boyce was safe there. So yeah, she was all right. She was all right. Found her way through. 71 without loss, and a quick little over from Groves, who's going back up to mid-off now. But it'll almost be one of those. It depends what sort of cricketer she is, I suppose, and she's new to the side. Come through the academy, I think we believe. So I suppose we won't know until she's played a few of these games. But if it was me, I'd be thinking, oh, I really hope another one doesn't come this over if I've shelled one. But
no, definitely elite mentality. I reckon she'll be bouncing straight back, and she'll be hungry to get back next one to prove she can take them and she can perform at this level, because she absolutely can do. And like I said, Catherine Bryce has cited her as one of the young guns to watch this season. Really exciting spinner.
The white letters on the posh little score box away to our left tell me it's 71 without loss after 10 overs, and Boyce is going to add to that with a uppish sort of push into the leg side. Didn't quite get as much as she would have liked. It was a little bit more elegant than that, actually, on second glance. 72 without loss is the total, and Cleary, the Western Australia who plays for Perth Scorchers in the women's BBL, back home, is pacing in here at Grace Road. She'll be enjoying these surrounds here today. A smattering of spectators at the far end. There'll be more down below us at the pavilion end too, as Ellis returns this one into the gloves of Sarah Bryce. And that is another single to the total. 73 without loss, he says nervously. It is quick. It's quick here, the scoreboard. I like a quick scoreboard.
Yeah.
But it worries me about every 10 overs. I get a bit nervous about them. Might even be able to hear the wind rattling in through the windows. We've gone brave today, haven't we? We've gone with the windows open. It's actually bringing a bit of cloud over, and hopefully not a drop of rain. As this, oh, what a shot that is from Georgie Boyce. Just gave herself room, got her leg out the way, as is the one-day style, certainly the T20 style. But it was still, she held her shape. It was a classical drive, just down the onside of straight. 4 runs, 77 without loss. Thunder looking in a really ominous position.
Yeah, they certainly are. And I thought we were going to see some football skills from Piper Cleary there, but she couldn't get anything on it. And absolutely destructive, these two at the moment in the middle. Boyce and Lamb, are these going to be the pair that we're going to be talking about all summer? They've started off this season absolutely phenomenally well. They've obviously got county experience together, years worth of friendship as well.
It's an early shout, Hannah Thompson-Radford from Women's Cricket Chat, and I like it as Piper Cleary is in to bowl again. Oh, it's a full toss, but she's not hit it well. Oh, and it's gone down. It's gone down on the boundary. It will be a 4 as well, just to add to the problems out there for Marie Kelly. She really should have taken that. It was the chance they've been looking for. Georgie Boyce, she's looking at the toe of her back. She's toe-ended it. That could have, after calling them the partnership of the summer, I've been trying to eradicate the commentator's curse and say it doesn't exist. But in 2 attempts trying to eradicate it, it's come up twice. 81 without loss as Cleary bowls. The 4 adding that to 81, it'll become 82 with that single from the cut stroke from Georgie Boyce. 82 without loss, and it's maybe not helping my cause. Although I say it's not helping my cause on both occasions. I got told off by, I think it was Jack Rule on Twitter, for nearly jinxing Emma Lamb the other day by saying she was looking in good touch, and then she chipped one up, but it went to ground. And then you've nearly jinxed Georgie Boyce, but she's still there, so it doesn't exist. It's not a thing. 82 without loss as Cleary will bowl short of a length, pulled away into the leg side. Beaumont is round, and it's an old-fashioned long barrier out there from the 199 capped Tammy Beaumont, who will be thinking, I'm going to need to get some runs here today. 83 without loss at the end of the 11th over. It's been eventful, it's been enjoyable, it's been exactly what the Charlotte Edwards Cup has been about, but both batters have been dropped, Hannah Thompson-Radford, and it'll just be niggling away at Lightning.
It definitely will be niggling away at them, and I can see from this beautiful viewpoint, Catherine Bryce is looking like she means business now. She wants to break up this partnership, make a change. Let's see what the rest of the Thunder batters have got to offer, because these two have been here for a little bit too long from a Lightning perspective. But I was feeling very guilty for a second because I thought I had cursed their fruitful partnership. But we'll see what's going to happen in this next over as Catherine Bryce steams in and bowls it. And it's just sliced away. She's found the gap straight out into the deep into, I think that's Tammy Beaumont out there. It is indeed, and straight into the keeper's gloves, and the ball gets returned back to Catherine Bryce, just for single, 84 for naught.
I didn't quite. I've been naughty here, and I've not scribbled down Georgie Boyce's score on the drop. I think it was 36.
And Bryce bowls it. Oh, what a shot! Fielder's gonna. Piper Cleary just steams round and cleaned that one up. But it looked like it was a lovely straight drive back behind the bowler. Looked like it was going to go for another 4, but Piper Cleary doing the work.
Yeah, it was as good a hit there from Boyce as the one where she got the 4 down the ground at the other end, but the only difference was Cleary was able to get round here.
Yeah, as Bryce again comes in swing, dot ball, perfect. So 85 for naught, still the score. A much needed dot ball here.
Well, luckily, Hannah, you've got such control of this commentary that I'm going to be able to do some research into exactly what Georgie Boyce's score was on a well-known cricket information website, so bear with me on that.
So Scotland captain comes in once again, and it goes slightly down towards the leg a little bit. It gets pushed away into Piper. Oh, Piper Cleary's completely been nutmegged, and it's gone for 4.
You have to say it, Lightning, and they'll be saying it themselves. I think the Lightning coaching staff down on the bench, they're looking a little ragged in the field here. They've Cleary brilliant in the over to get across one way, but then can't get back the other way there for the 2 drop catches, as we've mentioned, and they've just not been at their best. But it is difficult when players are hitting it as hard as they are here.
Yep, as Bryce comes in again, just in swing going down the leg, it gets pushed down, and it's just a single. So Lamb goes on to 45. Boyce is now facing on 42, and the score is 90 for naught.
She was so warmly applauded for that single. I thought I'd missed a milestone there. I was like, is the 100 up? Has Lamb got a 50? No, she's on 45. The score's 90. All.
So the Lightning captain comes in, and again that in swing's just pushing down a little bit. Boyce off the legs for a single.
Neat shot again.
Yeah, that's the end of it over, and Thunder on 91 without loss. Lamb's on 45 off of 39 balls, and Boyce is on 43 off 35 balls, and will be facing this next over.
Now, I've started by looking it up in the results section, so that's not going to help anyone here. But we will just try and confirm what Georgie Boyce's score was, because Lamb was certainly on 30 when she was dropped by the unfortunate Josie Groves, and we think the Boyce score was 36. It doesn't especially matter, but it's always nice just to see how much these things cost. She was dropped by Marie Kelly out on the leg side fence. Now there's going to be a change of bowling. It's going to be Lucy Hyam, the ever distinctive figure there, and she just rips the ball a few times before preparing to deliver this over to Boyce, who's down the ground, has slapped it into the leg side. It bounces horribly in front of the fielder Bethan Ellis, and a single is the result. 92 without loss. I mean, I would say there have been some pretty horrible bounces on the ground, which you don't necessarily expect from an outfield that looks as nice as this one is here at Grace Road. As a single, 93 without loss, but maybe just on ends of squares and things like that you can't sort of legislate for, can't do much about. But I think Lightning they'll feel they could have done better in the field, and they're watching these two potentially put on a 100 partnership. 93 without loss the score, as Boyce works it into the leg side. One on offer. I can hear an ice cream van in the distance, which is absolutely brilliant. Although he'll be slightly annoyed that the sun's just gone behind those clouds when that sort of breeze that you heard on the microphones came across. 94 without loss score moves on to. Lamb is on strike. She'll be in need of an ice cream after this, I think. It's ice cream worthy work she's done so far, and she'll be looking to go for a 50 just as she did against Diamonds. Won't get it there though. It's slapped hard and out towards the mid-wicket fielder. That's Tammy Beaumont who's gone there this over. Now that's interesting. Beaumont and Kelly have switched. Is that to do with the drop catch? It seems a bit harsh, but there you go, because Kelly's a good fielder. Very good in the slips actually, is Marie Kelly, as this one is driven down the onside of straight, in fact way out to wide, long on in the end. Another one to the total, 96 without loss. They're just creeping up towards that 100 mark, but creeping there as we approach the end of the 13th over. High and bowls. Big sweep from Lamb. Took that probably from off the stumps, maybe even outside off stump, and went with the spin. Was from outside off stump. Hit it hard, but straight at Kelly. 97 without loss at the end of the 13th over of the innings. What are we thinking, Hannah Thompson-Radford, Women's Cricket Chat? I think I can guess what you're thinking, but go on. Let's see if we're on the same wavelength.
Well, I'm just thinking that actually in that over there, Lightning did look a little bit tighter in midfield, so hopefully they can swing a little bit back, a little bit of momentum back. Hyam obviously bowled really nicely there, but the batters were taking those singles, and it is their game at the moment. Lightning really do need to cause a bit of an upset here and send one of them back to the pavilion.
I was thinking they need a wicket.
They do indeed. You said it. You said it much straighter.
I think they need a wicket here, but
They
I mean, Lamb and
definitely do.
Boyce are two of the better openers in this competition.
And Marie Kelly's on to bowl now. And Lamb just hits it across for a single. And she's now gone on to that awkward number of 49 off 43 balls.
See, we are on the same wavelength. I was going to say she's one short of the milestone now.
Yeah,
Boyce is 4 short of it as well, so 1 hit away.
It's a horrible number to be on. Not that I've ever been on it.
A big moment potentially coming here for both of these batters. As I say, it was Lamb really, who only played 4 matches last year, but was still the second top run scorer, so she had a good tournament.
As Marie comes in left arm for a dot ball. So, as we mentioned before, she's ambidextrous. She can bowl both left arm and right arm. And that's not many people can say that, can they?
No, and not do it in a, as I say, in a sort of high performance environment like this.
She comes in once again. It's gone aerial, but it found the gap. So it looks like they're going to just take the single here.
So Boyce creeping towards the milestone onto 47. Thunder onto 99, so another milestone there. So big moments coming up for the visitors here potentially, but Lightning still in need of that wicket.
So Marie Kelly comes back over and it gets hit out for 1 run, and that will bring up Lamb's half century.
Warmly applauded by the Thunder players and staff down below us and the spectators who've come in today. It's the 100 up as well for the Thunder. Lamb's got exactly half of them. What an innings that is. This was the score she got against Northern Diamonds. Can she go on and go better? I think it was 218 runs she got in her 4 matches in this competition last year, including 111 against the Sunrisers. Yeah, that is correct indeed. So going well again.
Yeah, they had a lovely little handshake in the middle there. Boyce is now on strike, and she's looking to replicate what Lamb's just done. So, like you said, big milestones, but Marie Kelly is not going to want that to happen. So Marie Kelly bowling right arm as Boyce absolutely smashes it, but straight to a fielder. And unfortunately, end of over, 100 for naught, and Boyce is left waiting to try and hit her own half century.
Yeah, I think she'd be more nervous about it if she hadn't got her 65 the other day off just 56 balls. I think if it was her first one of the tournament, because that was her highest score in the Charlotte Edwards Cup as well the other day. And I spoke to her afterwards actually, and she sounded to me like she really meant business this year. She's the vice captain now as well, and I think that sort of extra responsibility. I think the Thunder players, the likes of Threlkeld, the likes of Boyce, the likes of Lamb, are taking control of this team now, making it their own, and sort of saying, look, we want to win games of cricket. She was talking about, look, we were in with a chance in the final game as Hyam comes to bowl to Lamb, who's cracked this one away into the leg side and will go past her score from Wednesday on to 51. The score 101 without loss. We're in the 15th over. The first ball of it was just there. But yeah, she said, look, we were in with a chance the last game, and we might have blown it and not beaten Diamonds on that occasion, but we beat them today, and we're looking at going to finals day again as Hyam bowls, and this one goes up in the air, and this one is just out of the reach of the tumbling effort from Groves out there. I don't think she got hands to that one. It wasn't like the one earlier that she should have taken. I think if she got anywhere near that, it would have been a fantastic effort. Boyce on to 49, 103 without loss. Boyce with the chance to bring up that second 50 of the competition, but go there again was the wrong way of phrasing it, but you know what I mean. To to get that chance again and to actually this time make it count and get to finals day. We'll explain how you get to finals day in a moment as Boyce takes a very tight single to bring up her 50, and it's her second of the competition. It didn't go well for Thunder against Vipers, but since then they've played Diamonds. Georgie Boyce getting 65 that day. She'll be looking for a similar score, maybe even more today. 104 without loss. Lamb and Boyce both past 50. They will be looking to add to this now in the remaining 5.3 overs. We'll get Hannah Thompson's-Radford's thoughts on that in a moment, because Hyam is in on her way to Lamb. It's a reverse sweep, and it's a superbly played reverse sweep. Obviously, that's a stroke that can draw a lot of ire from people, but it's gone for 4 here for Emma Lamb, and she's picked exactly the right moment to do it. She's waited for the ball outside off stump. She knows the fielder's in the ring at short third, and it's been swept past Ella Claridge and away, 108 without loss. Thoughts on Georgie Boyce's 50?
Yep, absolutely fantastic. And it was nice to see Lucy Hyam as well give a bit of a tap on the shoulder. I think they're old school friends as well. I think they went to the same school, but they were Nottinghamshire teammates for a while as well.
Hyam bowling to Emma Lamb. Superb knowledge there from Hannah Thompson-Radford from Women's Cricket Chat alongside myself, Mike Perkins, on the Lightning Cricket YouTube stream. That's a leg by. 109 without loss is the Thunder score. The visitors going well here as we approach the end of the 15th over of the innings. Boyce is down the track. She's hit it hard. There's going to be a chase on out to that short leg side boundary. The ball, though, returned by Tammy Beaumont. 110 without loss. Beaumont, you feel, is going to do some damage on that short boundary if she can get herself in. But at the moment, we're back to where we were 12 balls ago. They need a wicket. 110 without loss. 10 from that, the 15th over. This is getting dangerous for Lightning.
It unfortunately is. At the moment, Thunder have got all the momentum. Obviously, they're coming off the back of that win, and these two don't look like they're changing anything anytime soon. Boyce, she mentioned in her preview as well that people call her horizontal, and that's exactly how laid back she seems to be playing at the moment. She just seems so relaxed and looks like she's absolutely enjoying it out there. But it'll be Catherine Bryce, captain, coming in to try and destroy this partnership. And Boyce hits it airily, and they're just going to take the single.
I think it may have even just bounced out the pitch there, actually, which probably took the pace off it, but it did evade the fielder. Brilliant to have around about 500 of you watching on the stream here. Absolutely fantastic to have you with us. Make sure you hit that like button and the little thumbs up and help people find us.
So we're going to see the swing of Bryce, and it gets pushed down, again just for a single for this pair.
I should apologise to people. I have a very squeaky chair as well today. I sat on this chair at Grace Road and it is phenomenally squeaky, which is slightly alarming, but there we go.
As Bryce returns to her mark, the Scotland captain running in, and she bowls it. It's gone in the air and it's gone for 4. So Boyce again being absolutely destructive here, over the top. Not one fielder could get a hand onto it.
Well, it was a far more modest way, wasn't it, to bring up the 50 on this occasion, just nudging it away. But yeah, she brought it up with a 6 on Wednesday, but that was more like the sort of stroke she was playing on Wednesday.
Yep. So Catherine Bryce is going to try and move the field around a little bit here, and the score is 116 for 0. She's just moving the field slightly, bringing 1 in as she comes in to bowl once again. Lofts it up, and it looks like Boyce has found the boundary yet again. Over the top of the infield. 1-2 bounce 4, and she's taken her score to 60 now, and the Thunder are 120 for 0. So Lightning really need to get this breakthrough in this over now, otherwise we're going to be on for a big score here.
Yeah, she had to bring one up to send long off back, didn't she?
It's Bryce bowls. That was much better bowling from Bryce there. She made Boyce take a step back, and all she could do was just pummel it back to her.
I'm tempted to close the windows, but I know we'll lose a bit of atmos, so I'm not going to do it. We're going to bear with it here.
So Thunder remain 120 for 0 as Bryce comes in, and Boyce hits it straight back down to Cleary, who will scoop it up just for a single.
Yeah, as I say, I'm reluctant to shut it just because I want to hear that bat on ball, but I do appreciate there's a little bit of wind, which I hope if you've got headphones on isn't too bad. It doesn't look too bad on our kit here, but yeah, and having started in that bright sunshine, it's a little bit disappointing that it's got slightly grey above the clouds. It's almost gone as grey as that sort of the fox on the corrugated iron roof away to our right hand side over there in the in the little building over there, but the trees are fluttering as well. The flags are clinging to the poles willingly. 121 then, 4 overs left. What's a good score for you here, Hannah Thompson-Radford? Are they going to exceed that 148 from the other day? They felt that was under par, was Georgie Boyce's assessment when I spoke to her afterwards.
Yeah, I'd say it's got to be past the 150 mark 100%. I think the way these two are going, if they don't get 160, they'll be a little bit disappointed. I think that's the minimum for me.
Yeah. So 4 overs, 40 needed for that. Tens.
Yeah.
Nice, easy maths, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just a couple boundaries, couple singles each over, isn't it? It makes it sound so simple when you put it like that.
Current rate 7.56. And I'm not going to be made a mug of again as I check that run rate because it's Piper Cleary coming onto bowl. So at very least learn from your mistakes. That's the that's the key we've learned today. 56 for Emma Lamb, 61 for Georgie Boyce. And if my eyes are not deceiving me, I think she's only faced 50 balls for that, which is some good going so far. Here comes Cleary to bowl to Boyce, who's hit that one away into the leg side and hit it hard and hit it for 4. Past a diving attempt by Tammy Beaumont. She missed one earlier on that she would have been a bit disappointed with, but she's given it her all since then to try and make up for it. And indeed, Boyce moves on to the score she made on Wednesday, 65, but she's got there quicker. She needed 56 balls the other day. She's needed just 51 balls on this occasion, and also she's not out. And if they're going to get tens, that's what they need. They need boundaries, and they've started the over with one. Cleary on her way again. Past umpire Harris will bowl right arm over from the Bennett end. Goes for a little twiddle through the offside. I think she misjudged the length of that one a little bit. It was a good wide Yorker, actually, from the player who plays for Perth Scorchers in the Women's Big Bash League, and she's able to stride back to her mark with a dot ball against her name. Pressure still on her in this over, though, because she's already conceded a boundary. If she concedes another one, then Thunder are on for that 10 they're looking for, and they've got wickets in hand to just throw at the ball here. That's what Boyce will do, over the onside and away for 4 runs to the mid-wicket boundary. It was slightly squarer than the last one, but the result was the same. 4 runs, 129 without loss. Georgie Boyce on to 69. The 3 figures seems a long way off to me, Hannah Thompson-Radford, but not out the question.
Definitely not out the question at all, but it would take some doing. She really needs to start accelerating, but she's in a privileged position where she can do that now. They are without loss. They've got plenty wickets in hand. So
only 2 players have made hundreds in the Charlotte Edwards Cup in its inaugural edition. They're both on the field today.
Yep.
I'll leave that one for just a ball for people at home to try and work out themselves as Piper Cleary comes in to bowl. Georgie Boyce facing, who's not that player, and she hits it down the ground. It's going to bounce once and almost over the fielder on the boundary. Now that would have been very unfortunate. It almost was like it landed on a trampoline, but it was well fielded out there by, I think it's Groves who's gone out there, but she's a long way away, so I'm not going to commit to that. Anyway, Lamb comes on to strike, 130 without loss. Boyce has 70. Lamb has the highest score in the competition, 111. And you look like you know the other one, Hannah Thompson-Radford.
It's got to be Marie Kelly against the Vipers last year.
100 against the Vipers last year, and that was actually, I felt, was an interesting moment in the sort of Marie Kelly story. As this one's going to be out, caught at cover. Emma Lamb goes, departs for 56. She's been caught on the offside at cover, off the bowling of Piper Cleary. It's the first wicket for Lightning of the innings, and the Lightning players come in to celebrate the catch. There's much discussion about it. It looks to me like it was Bethan Ellis with the catch, but we'll get that confirmed for you shortly. But caught at cover, Emma Lamb out for 56 from 48. In fact, the wicket hasn't gone up, so that'll be 49 again. We'll confirm the exact details of the dismissal, but I'm pretty sure it was off Cleary's bowling, caught by Bethan Ellis, and a warm round of applause for Emma Lamb, and quite rightly too. In fact, even our friend operating the camera over there is just giving a little ripple of applause, and good on him for doing so. Danielle Collins coming to the crease. Word on Emma Lamb's innings there.
Absolutely spectacular. There's not enough superlatives that could describe how she's been playing over the last few seasons, and obviously getting that England call up as well. She's on for a fantastic summer if she stays in this kind of form. She's just, again, she's so composed, isn't she? And she plays herself in. Obviously, we said at the start, like, they do take a bit of a slower start to get going, but once they get going, there's no stopping them. And it took until almost the 17th, 18th over to actually get them out. And in a T20 match, there's no complaining there. She's done her job really well.
Superbly well. And it's interesting. I just like the way they work together, I have to say. They feed off each other, they seem, and it seems sort of one goes and one sort of just does the role of giving the other the strike. As Cleary bowls, Collins has done well to jam the bat down there. They're going to just try and take a single every ball here if they do that kind of thing. Just get Boyce on strike as often as they can, although it hasn't achieved that on this delivery because it was the final one of the over, but it does get Collins off the mark onto one. 31 for 1 is the score. We have had 17 overs of the innings so far. We will confirm the first dismissal of it was Emma Lamb for 56 in that 17th over. So well done for Cleary for just getting their team on the board. But I mean, wickets are the best way to slow a team down, but they probably don't matter as much as they might have done, say, 5 overs ago.
Yeah, we've got the youngster Josie Groves coming back into the mix. So, like I said before, Catherine Bryce has really sighted her up, and hopefully this will be the start of a really impressive career.
Speaking of Catherine Bryce, apologies to her. It was Catherine Bryce who took the catch off the bowling of Piper Cleary. I got me 14 and me 17 mixed up there, but so Catherine Bryce catching Emma Lamb off the bowling of Piper Cleary, 56 off 49 balls, 6 fours in that innings.
So Groves comes in, and Collins just sweeps it down, and it's just going to go for a single.
Faith Florence was mentioning it in the week when we were at Sale Cricket Club that she'd seen Collins getting a few runs in Dubai, and that looks like a shot she may be perfected over there on the turning tracks.
Yeah, Thunder had a great time away in their pre-season, didn't they?
Now this is interesting. I've been saying Danielle Collins, and I've been impressed by the sweeps. Sachi Pai, isn't it? Who's come out?
It is.
My apologies, everybody. Collins went on the board, but it's been corrected. It's Sachi Pai who has come out.
Perhaps there was a slight change considering the circumstances that we're in at the moment. Push Sachi up the order, and of course she used to play for Lightning last year, so a bit like Piper Cleary, they've done a little bit of a swap, but Groves is definitely the one with the ball here.
Studying a Masters, isn't she? Or was.
As Pai slashes it across just for a single because Tammy Beaumont's going to mop out in the field, and Boyce will get on strike. So the score's 134 for 1, and young spinner Groves has got the ball in her hand as Boyce is on 71. And she comes in. A few steps, Boyce has hit it in the air, and it's taken! So wicket there, Catherine Bryce, absolute magnet again, takes the catch out in the deep, and Groves will be very, very happy with that one. Boyce has to depart on 71 of 55 deliveries. The score 134 for now 2 wickets in these latter stages of the game. So Lightning celebrating, big hugs there from Lucy Hyam to the young Groves.
Yeah, well done to Josie Groves. She's come into the side today. There would have been pressure on her. She obviously didn't manage to hold on to the catch. She would have been disappointed about that. It was not an easy one, but one she would have expected to take. But she's now got a wicket, and that shows great character. And how good is it to have Catherine Bryce on your team? 2 catches now. The second one there, getting Georgie Boyce out. 56 balls in the end, 71 runs. Really good contribution for her. But Thunder, they were disappointed with their total the other day of 148. They could be left feeling they're 10-15 short again today, because we say wickets are the best way to stop a team. They've done it. This is definitely Ellie Threlkel coming out to partner Sachi Pai. As we say, Danielle Collins was down to come in at 3 like she did the other day, but slight change to the the order, and it went up on the scoreboard and then disappeared rather quick. And it explains the sweep shots, because that's where she got her 2 runs the other day, Sachi Pai, and actually then she was caught playing for the team trying to hit one over long gone. And I think they brought her in for the last 5 overs because she hits a clean ball.
She definitely does do that really well, and it looks like Groves coming back in. Frelkeld on strike, and she's just pushed it out for a single, just to keep the strike rotating. So 2 fresh faces in the middle now, Sachi Pai and Ellie Frelkeld, captain of the Thunder side, just 23 years old, which I still can't get over that, because I've known Ellie for years, and I swear she's about 25, 26 these days, but...
She's quick between the stumps as well, isn't she, Frelkeld?
It's Groves bowls once again. It's gone aerial. Fingertips in the infield there. They're pushing for 2. Throw comes in. And the batter's just been hit on the head. We're going to have a concussion check. Ellie Frelkeld unfortunately dived into that. Complete accident from the fielders, but we're going to just get that checked out, because that did not look nice at all.
I think she's all right, actually. I think
Yeah.
it was just a little bit the shock of it there, as the ball had gone over Kelly. I think Kelly would have done magnificently to have got more than a fingertip on that. She was, maybe if she'd picked it up a bit earlier and used her feet a bit better, she might have got to the catch, but from where she was, she did well to get fingertips on it. We were mentioning how quick Frelkeld was. She got up and down very fast, and then we've been saying about how springy the outfield can be. Well, the ball sprung up past the bowler and hit Frelkeld, who obviously had no chance because she was just running in, diving for a ground. But I think she's got lucky, and it's maybe just caught her on the grill a bit more than the helmet itself. And the concussion protocol check has been completed very quickly. She's clearly remembered where her keys are at home, or whatever they ask in these things, and it's good.
It's such a serious element of the game, though. Concussion has affected quite a few players over the last couple of years. So it is one of those things that we do have to take seriously within cricket, and especially like club, recreational, county too. It's one of those things which can put you back a little while, and not enough education is out there about it. So
It certainly can't it? And well, as I know, it's sort of your field, academia, isn't it? And I think that is an area where a lot of people, can put in a lot of research. I think it needs to happen. Well, we got Frelkeld back on strike now, because it's the end of the 18th over. 137 for 1. Unless they do something extraordinary, I don't think they're getting that 160 now. I think you were right. If Boyce and Lamb had stayed there, 160 was on, but now I think they'd be happy with 150, 13 runs from 2 overs. They'll want more than that, probably 155.
Yeah, it's got to be 150 minimum on their cards. That's what they should be setting their sights on. They've got plenty of wickets in hand.
I suppose they're only 3 behind where they need to be, aren't they? But I think it would be 2 new batters who are going to struggle, and there's a caught behind. Well, Bryce looked as if she was going to take the bails for a moment, which slightly made me think she was going to appeal for a stumping, but then she realised there was a little tickle on that from Ellie Frelkeld, and Frelkeld has been caught behind for 1 off 2 deliveries, and Danielle Collins will make her way out to the middle now. Sarah Bryce with the catch behind off the bowling of Piper Cleary, who picks up her 2nd wicket. Credit to her. She's come back on here, and she's used these 2 overs, and we're just looking at the replay on the screen, which has come up for us, and I felt it looked right, didn't it? We couldn't hear it from here, but it looked right.
Yeah, it looked like a lovely piece of cricket all round. Safe hands from Sarah Bryce, who obviously just recently got back from the fair break last week. Scotland's vice captain alongside sister Catherine, who's obviously the captain of the Lightning. So Piper Cleary will be really happy with that, and she deserves it, absolutely. She's been bowling really well.
Yeah, she's done a good job for her team here. So Collins switching positions, maybe due to the good start and due to the clean striking of Sachi Pai, but Collins and Pai have switched positions. So Collins comes in at 5. Cleary's going to bowl to it, and Collins looks to try and sweep it, and there's a stumping from Bryce, and Cleary is on a hat-trick, and Collins can't believe it, but she had strayed out the ground. Just as she tried to jab it away, but lost her balance in doing so. Missed the ball. It was straight into the gloves of Bryce, and that's a superb bit of work, because she just waited long enough, flicked the bails off. We'll get a replay of it in just a moment and get a good look at it, but a stumping and a catch behind for Sarah Bryce off the bowling of Piper Cleary. has the Western Australian on a hat-trick. Oh, and actually, even Bryce was particularly alert because she hadn't taken it cleanly and still managed to pick it up and flick the bails off. So that's what the delay was making she was alert. She knew where the ball was and flick it off, because it was one of those horrible Yorkers which are awkward to take. It hadn't quite gone in cleanly, but she picked the ball up the floor, seen the batter out the crease and flicked the bails off, and there's a hat-trick ball here.
There is indeed. It'll be interesting to see how they're going to set the field here. Will they put a little bit of extra pressure on?
Again, same wavelength. It's like this wire and the kit's connecting us. I was thinking, are they going to bring one in? They surely can't. They can't bring one in, even though it's a hat-trick ball.
Yeah,
they've got to defend the total.
They absolutely, yeah.
But 2 wickets is 2 dot balls at this stage. I think that's as exciting as it will be for Cleary, and against her former team, the team she was playing for last year. Can she take a hat-trick? She bowls short of a length, and it's cut away by Laura Marshall for 4 runs, and that will go away and take the score into the 140s. 141 for 4. If there'd been a first slip, if they'd brought one in, Hannah Thompson-Radford, if you had been the captain and had risked it all and stuck it all on 00 on the roulette wheel, they'd have got a catch there at first slip.
Yeah, you've just got to, haven't you, be a bit cheeky and put the pressure on in a different way. But like you say, the most important thing here is getting those dot balls, building up that pressure.
Here comes Cleary again. 2 wickets to start her over. Now she's gone for 4, and Marshall looking for the cut again, nearly falling out of ground, and Bryce was there giggling away. The two of them having a right old laugh at that, because she just had to put her hands down behind her to stop herself rolling out the crease there, Laura Marshall, and the two players seen the funny side of it.
Yeah, she's not got much room for error there with Bryce standing up to Piper Cleary here.
Yeah, you're right, because Cleary is, she ain't slow is what I'm trying to say.
Got some wheels on her,
she
definitely.
Ain't slow. In comes those Western Australian wheels once again, and they're going to deliver the ball right arm over from the Bennett end here at Grace Road. They're going to hit and run whatever now are Thunder, and they're through for a single on this occasion. Bryce was right back on the edge of the ring where she took the first catch of the innings to dismiss Emma Lamb, who, with Georgie Boyce, had a very impressive partnership to start this innings. And it has helped take the Thunder score onto 142 for 4. They made 130, Lamb and Boyce, at the top of the innings. As Cleary bowls, it's up in the air. Bryce can't see where it is because she's got the helmet on, and it's gone above the visor, but it's gone down to short third. She was never really in the game there. Pye trying to get down and play that sweep shot. She just gets one for it. It wasn't where she intended, but she won't mind too much. 143 for 4. There is an over of the innings remaining, 6 balls to be absolutely precise, Hannah Thompson-Radford, and they need 7 off it just to make the 150. So even going past the 148, still a little bit in jeopardy. If Lightning bowl very well, they'd have to bowl very well, but it's a little bit in jeopardy.
Yeah, it's so interesting, isn't it? That's what happens with T20 cricket. The momentum can swing so quickly into one direction and twist back to another. So Lightning will be so proud of the way that they've kind of responded after that really difficult start. It looks, the partnership of Boyce and Lamb looked like it was they were taking the game away, but they've really brought themselves back into it now, and it will be Sophie Munro to close.
And this is where you start looking at that Lightning batting lineup and going, hello, there's a few players in that, isn't there? We'll read them out this over.
Yep, so Munro comes in, and Pye just hits it out for what's looking like a single, but they're turning it into 2 and a run out, and she's been called run out. So Sarah Bryce again in the action, throw in from Lucy Hyam. And Lucy doesn't want too much applause there. She's told the girls to get back on their mark, and Lightning are trying to maintain this momentum as the score turns to 143 for. I think it needs a little bit of an update. It should be 140.
It
not.
It went to 144 because of the 2, and then
yes,
it went back again because it was run out.
It was 143.
I told you it's quick. In fact, the other
really
one,
quick,
other one does say 144 because that one hasn't gone back yet. That may be more difficult with all the levers and things like that in the old score. Oh, it has gone up to 144 after all that.
I was thinking, I was like, no, it's 144 for 5 now, so I should have backed myself.
You should have backed yourself. You shouldn't have listened to Wally sitting next to you. But yes, 144 for 5. We should have trusted the old score box.
Yeah.
The old score box. I used to operate one of those when I was about 10, maybe even
the little
younger,
strings.
So it was a 2-person job. One of you'd sit there and do the book, And then the other one, it was like a 2-level thing, and you'd have to run up and down the wooden steps and
Oh,
things
wow.
and pull the levers. It was great. It was great.
Yeah, I've been in
Great
one
fun.
with the strings where you have to try and, you
Yeah.
know,
They're good fun, aren't
pull
they?
them down.
Good
But
fun.
yeah, so
Anyway, 144 for 5 is what we're trying to say.
so Laura Jackson's coming in by the looks of things. And
Sure.
she obviously had a great time with the ball at Sale, didn't she?
She did. Less good time with the back because, of course, she didn't. She was out first ball, I think, or certainly second for naught. So she'll want to get bat on ball here.
As Monroe comes in, and Jackson just pushes it back for a single. As the score now goes on to 145 for 5.
And she did get bat on ball. Good on her, Laura Jackson. But yeah, you're dead right to focus on the bowling. 2 wickets in her first 2 overs, and they were the Lauren Winfield Hill and then one of the best players in the entire world, Nat Siver. So yeah, fantastic.
And she's just 24 herself, is she? 23, 24? So Monroe comes in. And Marsh. Oh! Lucy Hyam's done an absolutely spectacular moment of fielding there. Hopefully you'll get to see it on the screen.
Yeah, I think we maybe even just missed that one because we weren't quite expecting it to. As I say, there's been some trampoline-like bounce off this outfield, which has been very difficult. Hyam doing well there.
So Monroe comes in. Jackson facing. And she hits it down just behind, and the fielders are running round for it for 2 runs here. So not a bad over here from Monroe at all. Thunder bring up the 148 for 5.
So that's what they got the other day, and it was greeted with a well-run Jacko because the reason for the run out earlier in the over was they just had to take the run. They just have to keep going, don't they, and use the wickets.
Monroe slightly full toss there as Jackson hits it away. Hyam with an absolutely rapid arm, shies at the stumps but miss, and Thunder will return for 2 runs.
Yeah, as I say, it's hit and run as hard as you can. If you can get back for 2, brilliant. And this is a big old field. That's the 150 up for Thunder as well. 150 for 5, so their highest score of the competition. 2 more than they got the other day. What can they add to it here?
As Monroe comes in. A little bit shorter, and it's going to go straight to Piper Cleary. Thunder return for a second. Throws slightly aloft. Sarah Bryce, amazing with the hands, tries to hit the ball back onto a stump, but it's gone wide, and Thunder do return for another 2 runs.
You're right about Bryce being amazing with the hand there. She caught it one-handed and then threw it behind her at the stumps and wasn't far away. 152 for 5. The score then for the Thunder. It all started with Emma Lamb and Georgie Boyce. Fantastic partnership of 130 from them at the top of the innings, and the total they ended up with 152 for 5 from 130 without loss in the, well, they were in the 17th over at that point. What do you make of that as a total, Hannah Thompson-Radford? You see a lot of this cricket. I know you've been down, you've seen a lot of the Western Storm, you see a lot of lightning, you see a lot of cricket across the country. Do we feel 4 more than they got the other day against Diamonds, that Thunder are in pole position? Have we got a dead even game? Or would you even, with that lightning lineup we were mentioning, the likes of Marie Kelly, Tammy Beaumont, Sarah Bryce, Catherine Bryce, Teresa Graves, Bethan Ellis and Ella Claridge, they can all bat. Even Sophie Monroe can hit a pretty clean ball. Cleary's handy with the bat. She was batting at 4 and 5 for Thunder last year. Is that going to be enough for Lightning? What do you reckon?
Well, like we said, 150 was kind of a past score that we were thinking. We did think that they could accelerate onto 160 kind of plus. So they'll be very disappointed. And like you said, I'm terrible at maths, so I'm not going to guess how many for the 5 wickets it was, but it wasn't many, was it? You would have hoped that they could have pushed on a little bit more. They could have played a little bit more fearlessly. But Lightning have got to be commended. They did so well to bring themselves back into that game. They really tidied up, put the pressure on, and if I was Lightning now, I'd be full of confidence and I'd be backing my batters to chase that down. But we saw what happened with Thunder versus Diamonds the other day, and if Laura Jackson is bowling the same way as she did, it'll be very interesting to see how Tammy Beaumont and Marie Kelly come into play, as we assume they'll be opening up as they always do.
Yes, we assume, although we assumed with Danielle Collins, or rather I assumed with Danielle Collins, and was rather done. The scoreboard assumed as well, which is where I got it from, if I'm honest. Good to have so many of you with us. I know whilst the stats and things will be flashing up, one or two you'll be going off and getting a cup of tea, all that kind of thing. But do make sure you rejoin. 129 of you already have hit the like button. That's doing your bit in a way for women's cricket as well, because it helps people find us. Hannah Thompson Radford, I'm going to run people through the cards because they're flashing up on the screen, but people might not be able to sort of fully digest them. So I'll run the way through the cards. If you need to go and get a drink or anything like that, then now is probably the time to do it. But Hannah Thompson Radford will be back with us very shortly. Let me run you through the Thunder card because it started very well for them indeed. Georgie Boyce, who got a highest score of her Charlotte Edwards Cup career last game against Northern Diamonds, and she bettered it today. 71 from 56 balls, faced exactly the same number of balls in fact, but she was able to score another 6 runs and get 71. She was partnered well by Emma Lamb, who again increased her score. She got 50 on the dot the other day, and she got 56 today. So an excellent opening partnership of 130, and that was able to eventually that partnership was ended when Catherine Bryce caught Emma Lamb off the bowling of Piper Cleary, 456 off 49 balls with 4 fours. She batted for 51 minutes, so a great start to the innings from the opener. Perhaps would have liked to have gone a bit further on and up that strike rate a bit, but a really good start from the Thunder. And Boyce was the next out then in the following over, the 18th over of the innings. The score was on 134 when the second wicket fell, and it was caught again by Catherine Bryce, this time at mid-off. It was a wicket for Groves, and good for Groves coming into her first game of the competition and taking a wicket, so she will be pleased to have done that. Boyce hit 9 fours in her innings, wasn't quite able to find a 6. It's a fair old hit here at Grace Road, even to the shorter leg side boundary actually, but it is shortish on the leg side, but that is when they're facing from the Bennett end of the ground, the far end of the ground. But it'll be interesting to see if Tammy Beaumont and Marie Kelly can exploit that any better than Boyce and Lamb. Sachi Pai then came out to the crease, and she was partnered after the second wicket by Ellie Threlkeld, who was caught behind of Sarah Bryce off the bowling of Piper Cleary for 1 from 2 balls, and that was followed up with a wicket very next ball. Piper Cleary starting at the 19th over of the innings particularly well and getting a stumping of Collins, who was perhaps unfortunate to overbalance on her first delivery. She tried to play a wide Yorker. The alert Sarah Bryce was able to, she'd actually just done well to sort of get the gloves on the Yorker, and it had trickled out on the floor. She picked it up, whipped the bails off, and got a stumping. The hat-trick ball was edged by, well, I don't think it was edged actually. I think it was guided past the wicketkeeper through the vacant slip area, but it would have had Cleary's hands go into her head when Laura Marshall did that for the only boundary of her innings. She finished on 6 not out and was accompanied by Laura Jackson on 7 not out. The only other wicket to fall was Sachi Pai, rather sacrificed herself in the final over of the innings. The ball hit out into the leg side. She tried to come back for 2. She was never going to get back for 2, and she was out for 7 off 6 balls, run out by Lucy Hyam. The bowling figures: Hyam 4 overs, no maidens, 21 for no wicket. Marie Kelly 3 overs, no maidens, 21 for no wicket. Sophie Monroe, 3 overs, no maidens, 27 for no wicket. Catherine Bryce, 3 overs, no maidens, 26 for no wicket. And then we had Josie Groves, 3 overs, no maidens, 22 for 1 wicket. And Piper Cleary, 4 overs, no maidens, 34 for 3 wickets. So one of the more expensive bowlers, the third most expensive bowler as I glance down there. But she did take the 3 wickets at the back end, and that is some very good death bowling indeed. So you're listening to Lightning Cricket's YouTube stream of the Charlotte Edwards Cup. Very good to have you all with us. Hannah Thompson Radford will be rejoining me shortly. And as I say, if you have nipped off for a cup of tea or know anyone who has, make sure they head back here. We'll just update you on some other scores elsewhere, because across the country there are Charlotte Edwards Cup games that are ongoing at the moment. The early game was between South East Stars and Western Storm, and it was won by the South East Stars by 7 wickets. They chased down a total of 146 to do that, and it was 66 from Alicia Cranston off just 49 balls opening the batting that guided them there, and she was well accompanied by partner Kalia Moore, who came in at number 5 and hit 57 from 48. So a really good contribution from those two that guided Southeast Stars to victory over Western Storm. There was 50 from Hennessy at the top of the Western Storm innings, but they couldn't repeat their victory over Sunrisers. So elsewhere in the 2:30 starts, we have 2 other games. They are approaching the between innings mark. Northern Diamonds have one over, or sorry, Southern Vipers rather have one over of their innings left against the Northern Diamonds up at Chester-le Street. You can get Kevin James and Gemma Green up there covering that one. They've made the long journey up to Durham, to Chester-le Street to watch that one. Southern Vipers 124 for 9 going into the final over. So Diamonds doing well to restrict the Southern Vipers there, and that would make this group, Group A as I believe it is, very interesting indeed, because Lightning and Thunder are playing here at Grace Road, and a reminder that Lightning will be chasing 153 to win this game. Thunder, of course, winning midweek against Diamonds, so they're level on 5 points with Diamonds. And the Southern Vipers, they are top of the group with 10 points. Lightning still looking for their first win of this competition, their first win from either season, actually. So it will be very interesting to see whether that powerful batting lineup of Marie Kelly, Tammy Beaumont, Sarah Bryce, Catherine Bryce, and Teresa Graves, Bethan Ellis and Ella Claridge can chase down this 155 that they require in order to 153 that they require in order to win this game. A chase of 154 is the prospect at Edgbaston for Sunrisers. You can get that game with Claire Jenkins and Sarah Ginn at Edgbaston, and the Sunrisers have a chase of 154 to win that game. So very, very similar indeed to the game that we've got here, where the chase is 153. Amy Jones, the England international in that match, getting 80 from just 49 balls. She hit 6 4s and 6 6s. What an innings that was, before being stumped by Hughes off the bowling of Gardner. There were little contributions elsewhere as well, a couple of 27s, one from Eve Jones, who was the highest run scorer in this competition last year, and one from Abby Freeborn. So that is the state of play at the moment. We should remind you as well, in terms of this this competition, it's a case of the top team who have the most points from both Group A and Group B. So the other group is Central Sparks, Sunrisers, Southeast Stars and Western Storm. Whoever has the most points overall from the 2 groups, they will go straight into the final, and then the other 2 teams, they will play against each other. So the second best first place team, if that makes sense, they will play for against the best second place team, as complicated as that is. So both second place teams don't qualify for finals day. It's just one. It's not quite like the T20 Blast. The Charlotte Edwards Cup works slightly differently. It gives us a shorter finals day, which is, I think, a bit of a relief in some ways, because those T20 Blast finals days, they can be a little on the long side, although they are very entertaining, and I think it does at least allow people who enjoy a little drop of drink to get quite lively by the time they get to the final of those. But in this competition, top team, they go straight through to the final. The one that has the most points, the one that has the second most points of the 2 top teams in the groups, they have to play off against the best points from the second place team. So it's a little bit on the complicated side, but it gives us a good finals day, I always feel. Hannah Thompson Radford, what are your thoughts on that? And probably more importantly for this afternoon, what have your thoughts been on the chase as you've just been away and just been able to walk out the commentary box, get a bit of fresh air, just take it all in, take in the conditions and contemplate this chase of 153?
Well, you mentioned that, and now I'm trying to get my breath back from the steps. I thought I was.
There's a lot of them.
I thought I was absolutely fine, but do you know what? About 3 lots of steps must be about. How many do you reckon? About 50 odd steps, maybe?
I didn't count them. There was somebody I once worked with at Bramall Lane in Sheffield, which I think has. Well, they reckon it's between there and I think Sunderland of the most steps to a football commentary position in the Football League, and they were counting it up, trying to work it out. I haven't counted these ones. It's not quite that many. It's not like 113
No,
or whatever it is there, but it certainly takes your breath away.
Yeah, I thought I was fine in the moment I go to talk. I'm like, nope, still need a second. But yeah, now I'm back, and I think we're going to be on for a very interesting chase here. I saw as I was downstairs, Catherine Rice got her pads on.
Okay.
Interesting. Maybe she'll be coming in 3 or 4. Like she normally does come in around kind of a 3-4 spot anyway.
Yeah,
but
she was 4 the other day, wasn't she?
I was going to say she has been kind of down in the number 4 spot more often than number 3. But yeah, hopefully Marie Kelly spoke to her pre-season. She's not afraid to go big from the first ball.
This is it, isn't it? Because, as you say, you interviewed Marie Kelly, and I thought that 100 against Vipers was a very telling, because there was another interview I'd read with her, with I think it was Sid Egan from Cricket here, where she said she went into, let's call it swear word mode.
Yep.
Let's not use that word because, you know, family show and all that. But yes, she went into swear word mode, didn't she? And it went very well. She knocked it off with time to spare, frankly, in that game against Vipers last year.
Yeah, that's the exact words that she used with me that I had to soften down slightly.
Right. So you had swear word in your cricketer piece as well.
I did indeed. And
did the sub take it out, or were you brave enough to send it in? Or?
To be fair, I gave Marie the option, and Marie softened it down.
Fair enough.
Alongside me.
Yes. Okay.
It's one of those things with like the writing side of things that I want to do is all about the players' voices, and they've got to be happy with what they say as well. So I didn't want to throw her under the bus.
So we went swear word.
So yeah, to be fair, I thought it gave more personality to the piece, gave it more colour, and if that's what worked
leaves
for
them
her,
guessing, doesn't it?
Yeah, and if that's what worked for her, you know, that was the mentality.
Anyway, before somebody comes and collars me and takes me off, going too far down this route. But yes, I mean the other day when Lightning were chasing against Southern Vipers, who are top of the table, as we've been saying, top of this group. Catherine Bryce, did come in at 4, and she got 54 off 51, so they perhaps needed to go a bit slightly quicker, although 54 or 51 you'd probably take at this stage. It's going to be Laura Jackson to open the bowling from the Bennett end of the ground. Marie Kelly has come out to face up to her, and at the other end is Tammy Beaumont. I'm excited to see how Tammy Beaumont goes. We were watching last Saturday, weren't we, and Kelly and Beaumont, they went well, but they didn't quite keep up with the rate. What can they do here? Kelly is going to play it away and through the gap at backward point, and this one will trickle away for 4 runs from the very first ball of the innings. We saw Laura Marshall play a fine sort of cut. We saw Emma Lamb play one as well in the first half of this game. Well, the second innings has begun, and Marie Kelly has found the boundary with a cut stroke and a much more firmly hit one. It went a lot squarer, even though it was behind square, away for 4 runs to a sort of wide third position in the end. She'll be feeling good about herself with a strike rate of 400. We mentioned that strike rate of 240.48, thanks to Hypercourse for that stat in the pre-season against Sunrisers. Well, she's going to go up to a strike rate, well, she's going to keep that strike rate of 400 because she's hit another 4. 8 without loss. What a start to the innings this is. If you have gone for a cup of tea, I hope you're back in time, because Marie Kelly ain't swear-wording about, to put it that way.
I'm really interested to hear what maths you were going to say her strike rate was on then. Were you going to say an 800%?
I was going to go for 800 because it went to 8 without loss and there was an 8 in it. But I aborted that, and I don't think anyone noticed. As Laura Jackson comes in to bowl another ball from the Bennett end, this time Marie Kelly is not able to cut it away. Anna Harris thought about a wide just for a second, but then he did that thing that umpires do, where they just get something out of the pocket and you think they're going to do something, and then
play it off cool.
Just tick on me little ball counter, 1 more. 8 without loss, 8 without loss. Marie Kelly has all 8 of them, 2 4s. And Laura Jackson is having a very different experience when she bowled to Lauren Winfield Hill at Sale Cricket Club just a few days ago, as Kelly tries to work into the leg side, can't make contact with the ball. It's a twiddle of the bat, so 2 4s, 2 dots. And it was at this point at Sale the other day that Laura Jackson had picked up Lauren Winfield Hill, but can't do so on this occasion. Well, because she's not here. Marie Kelly is the one in her sights as she comes in to bowl right arm over the wicket. It swings into the batter and then it's clipped away into the leg side. There's a chase on for Hannah Jones. Kelly's coming back for 2. This is risky. Belcold is quick with the gloves. There's a decision to make, and the head shakes, and it's not out. And Marie Kelly moves on to 10. 10 without loss is the Lightning score. Hannah Thompson-Radford, you look like you're itching to get in and give us some early thoughts.
Yeah, no, it just looked then that Ellie was slightly too quick and slightly just missed it and had to come back. Hopefully we'll see a replay that will just kind of confirm that. But
it was just a bit far away from stumps, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It just had a bit much to do. It actually was leg buys there. So Kelly's still on at 8, but the score is 10 without losses. Oh, that's deflected nicely, and I thought it was going to run away slightly fine of Phoebe Graham, but a good bit of stopping there from Phoebe Graham. And the bowling will come here to the pavilion end of the ground. 10 from the first over. They're definitely up with the rate.
Yep, and like we said before, so Marie Kelly is going to be going at it from ball 1. That's the kind of cricket she wants to play. She wants to be fearless, and she's not afraid to just hit hard from the start. She's not a player who's going to try and play herself in at all. So we're going to see fireworks. It just depends how long they last.
Is it a brave move for you as we see Alex Hartley just going through her left arm over the wicket action to get ready to bowl, that she's, you know, she was quite comfy at Central Spark. She had a nice little thing going. It was, you know, sort of local to where she grew up, all that kind of thing. But she's come back to a place where I think she was at uni for a while.
Yeah, she was. We'll definitely talk about that shortly because Hartley's just looking to come into Beaumont now. So Beaumont just hits it off the legs into Boyce, who's going to throw it in just for a single. So Beaumont's off the mark with a single from Hartley. Scores 11 for 0.
There'll be a bit of chatter going on between those two. They get on very well, don't they, Hartley and Beaumont?
And again, uni days as well, so they had a bit of an overlap at Loughborough University. And Hartley comes in for her second delivery to Kelly, who blocks it. Slightly unusual for her.
I'm as surprised as you are. It doesn't seem a very Marie Kelly thing to do in a T20, that, but it shows she's thinking about it.
Yep. You've got to respect a good ball.
You do, and she did.
And Hartley comes in again with her left arm. And the finger goes up. Marie Kelly is out LBW. Hartley with her first wicket of the day. So 11 for 1 the score. Thunder started off excellently here.
I've just had a look at that on the replay. It was tight.
Going down leg?
No, I think she got outside the line of off stump, actually.
Oh.
I think it was a very similar delivery to the last one, but I think she got right across. Oh, it's borderline. I think it's one of those you'd review it and it'd probably go umpire's call on impact in line there. I think you definitely, if you're Marie Kelly, you'd go, I think I got outside the line, let me have another look. And then you'd probably be proved on the replay that it was impact impact umpire's call for line outside the off stump. It was definitely hitting, and Alex Hartley knew it, and that's why she was pleading for the dismissal, and Marie Kelly is out. So an eventful knock from her, but it comes to an end in the second over. Ella Claridge on her way to the crease.
Yeah, so obviously young gun. She was involved in the 100 last year. Don't think she actually made an appearance though, but it was around the squad at the Trent Rockets. I had a great time learning, picking up things from the more experienced players too. So she's just started at Loughborough University herself. And let's see, Hartley's coming in now. Claridge on strike, dot ball.
Surprised to see Claridge this early, given you've got the Bryce sisters and we know what they can do. Obviously, Sarah Bryce was the... I'll let you bring this ball.
So Hartley's bowling in again to Claridge, who sweeps it across. Nutmegs Sachi Pai will take the single. They're looking for 2, but nope. Claridge sends Beaumont back.
Because very much the star of last year's... No, sorry, the first year's Rachel Hayer Flynn Trophy was Sarah Bryce, and obviously Catherine Bryce has had big innings in that. Perhaps they're maybe just thinking Claridge can have a better strike rate maybe in the power play.
Yep, so Hartley comes in. Beaumont on strike. And again, lots of respect here to Hartley. Dot ball.
Well, World Cup winner, 32 caps for England. You've got to show her a bit of respect. I know she does that podcast where she talks all sorts of nonsense, but you've got to give her a bit of respect.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But, you know, you think from Tammy Beaumont maybe she does say that she likes to play herself in a little bit, doesn't she? Unlike Marie, who will go from ball 1. But you thought she might have used her feet a little bit more, but it'll be interesting to see here the wise head of Beaumont alongside the young gun. Claridge. She hits the ball hard. I think that's why she's probably
Right.
up in number 3. She's a real hard hitter. She's played for Lightning Academy. Been doing really well with her county season ahead of the regional comp. So she'll be putting her hands up today, hopefully trying to contribute and get that regular number 3 spot.
So they've changed the bowling here today. Thunder last time they obviously stuck with Laura Jackson because she got a wicket in her first over. This time she's gone for 10, and even though Marie Kelly was out for just those 2 fours for the 8 runs she hit, they've gone with Hannah Jones on this occasion. 12 for 1 the score, and it remains there from the first ball that was pushed out to Emma Lamb at short cover. We also have Laura Jackson at a more conventional wider cover as Claridge sweeps into the leg side and finds Sachi Pai, who's out on the mid-wicket boundary. Completing that offside field, we have George Boyce up at mid-off. We have a backward point in the form of Laura Marshall. So the reverse sweep, as he appears to check there's no one at third, is very much on, and Hannah Jones is going to have to wait for Tammy Beaumont, and why not? Because she's got 199 caps for England across all formats, 99 of them in the T20 international format, and that's why, because she hits 4s like that. What a beautiful stroke that is. What a great cricket shot that is. Hannah Jones is difficult to get away, but she's slightly overpitched there, and she's been hit away. So it is, as we see from Elizabeth Botchby from the Cricketer, saying she doesn't think that Thunder have won back-to-back matches as a region yet, so could be something special today. Well, good bit of knowledge from Elizabeth Botchby, who also had that great stat in her piece about Ellie Threlkeld captaining Thunder for the first time on her 50th appearance for Thunder in all its guises. 17 for 1 here. Beaumont has 5 of them, and a very pleasing 5 because she's driven Hannah Jones along the ground for 4, and she's going to try and play off the back foot away for 4 to exactly the same place. She's done it once off the front foot, once off the back foot. The result's the same as the ball pops over the rope. 4 more runs. If you're in the kitchen, if you're out doing your stretches or whatever, and you're not here watching Tammy Beaumont, try and get yourself to the screen. Just have a look at this. 21 for 1. Beautiful strokes from Beaumont.
Yep, absolutely. And she's class. Obviously, Lightning need that kind of England player to step up, and hopefully it'll be her day today.
Class, that's the word. Absolutely immaculate strokes from Beaumont. Looks to try and swing this one away down the leg side. It's all pad, and Anna Harris taps her knee to tell us as much. So 22 for 1, thanks to Elizabeth Botchby. Thunder, we believe, have not won back-to-back games in the inaugural Charlotte Edwards Cup, so they'd be on for something special today if they can win back-to-back. But that one was off the pad. Jones takes a cap, sticks it on her head. 22 for 1 is the score at the end of the 3rd over. Let's have a little peer back in time, back through the pages to what Thunder were on after 3 overs. They were on, what Lightning were on, rather, after 3 overs. They were on 13 without loss. So 1 more wicket, but 9 more runs to Lightning chasing here against Thunder. So
yeah, they won't mind about being one wicket down. You know, they've known that from the start with Marie Kelly, like we said before. Like, she'll either hit hard and stay in, or she'll hit hard and you'll have the fleeting moment of her brilliance. But they've got so much depth, they're not going to be too phased.
Yeah, the voice for Hannah Thompson Radford there, and I mean, you know the Lightning players well, so you'll have a good insight into how they chase.
Yeah, so Phoebe Turner now, and she just bowls that first one wide.
Yep, just down the leg side from Sophia Turner there, just unable to find a line from the first ball. Very accurate bowl as Sophia Turner just bowls wicket to wicket, keeps it nice and simple, but strayed there down the leg side.
Yep. So Sophia Turner, my apologies, comes in once again, and it's a straight ball that gets glanced just across for a single from Tammy Beaumont. So yeah, Phoebe Turner plays for fun.
I had this problem the
for
other day.
Diamonds, doesn't she?
Yes.
It's so confusing.
It is now. There's certainly at least 2 Turners, and they were both playing the other day. And yeah, you had to keep yourself on your toes. There was another surname that I was worried I was going to mess up today.
As Turner comes in once again, and it's a dot ball. So Ella Claridge on strike there.
Yeah, well, you said she hit it hard, and she did there.
She
but for
definitely does.
no addition to the total, which was the one I saw, and I thought, There's somebody else I commentate on who has. Oh, that was it. Phoebe Graham, who wears number 17. There is a Everton women's player called Lucy Graham who also wears number 17. So I was a bit worried about
Turner
that.
comes in once more, and Claridge has found the gap, and it goes for 4 runs. So hard hitting there, finds the gap. Lightning go on to 28 for 1.
Just behind square on the offside, wasn't it? But where she didn't manage to get it through before, she went. It was probably in some ways a worse shot because it went behind square on the drive. But she gets 4 for it, so she'll be quite happy, and it keeps them up with the rate.
Yeah, so Sophia Turner comes in once again with her pace, and Claridge clatters it over the top for another boundary. So back-to-back boundaries for the youngster. Lightning now 32 for 1. Claridge takes her score to 10, and Beaumont's also on 10.
1 square on the offside, 1 through mid-wicket on the leg side. Beautiful shots, opposite sides of the ground. Yep. Captain's nightmare, as they say.
So we know Tammy Beaumont can play 360, and let's see if Ella Claridge is trying to channel that herself.
Well, it'll be great for Claridge to bat with Beaumont. This is what this competition's about, isn't it?
100%.
Bringing in the internationals when you can, get them playing with the domestic players, and just passing on the insight. And I reckon Beaumont, maybe just as they passed there, would have gone, all right, just get a single now, just get me back on strike. If it's a bad ball, hit it, but just get me a single.
So Sophia Turner once again comes in and bowls it, and Claridge again tries to smash it through, but it goes to Jackson out there for a dot ball. So no runs scored off of that one. Lightning are 32 for 1.
Reminder, they're chasing 153 for victory here are Lightning, and they're up with the rate of 7.65 at the moment.
And again Sophia Turner comes in. Claridge has gone aerial, but it's beaten Graham, and it looks like it's going to go for another boundary. It's gone for 4. So Claridge with 3 fours that over accelerates her score to 14. Lightning 36 for 1. And 4 overs have gone.
Women's cricket chats. Hannah Thompson-Radford called it. Ella Claridge likes to hit a cricket ball, and she's proved it. Fantastic to have 586 of you watching the stream at the moment. Good to see plenty of you. Well over 100 already have been hitting that like button. Please make sure you do that, because it helps people find us on the stream today. And it's going to be a thrilling chase by the looks of things. Although the way Lightning are going about it, they look as if they might even be fancying that bonus point if they keep going like this. Kelly hitting the first 2 balls for 4 and setting the tone. And now we have another bowling change from Thunder. They're feeling they're having to ring those changes. 156 of you hit the like button, and if you're enjoying what you're seeing from Beaumont and Claridge, or indeed Lamb and Boys from the first half of this game, make sure you let us know by pressing that little thumbs up. 37 for 1 the score moves on to, with Emma Lamb just losing her line from her first delivery. She tries to settle into this spell, although there's rarely time to settle in a T20 game. The wind, tellingly, is blowing towards the short side of the ground. The ball is turning in that direction. Will Beaumont fancy it just yet? She drives it back towards Emma Lamb, but it was a kind of twiddly drive, really. It didn't quite have the power, although it's always got power when Tammy Beaumont hits the ball. She's such a powerful player. That's why she has 1,721 international T20 runs, and she's going to add some regional runs here, 4 of them. Lovely, lovely shot away. 41 for 1. Beaumont looking in good touch, finds the shorter side of the ground. 14 runs now from just 8 deliveries, and Beaumont looks in fine form. I thought she looked in good touch last week, actually, but just couldn't keep up with the bludgeoning hitting of Lauren Winfield Hill. Neither Kelly nor Beaumont could do that last week, but on this occasion it looks as if Beaumont is going to keep that strike rate up as high as she can. Has to settle for a dot there though. Phoebe Graham, yes, Phoebe Graham, not Lucy Graham, the number 17 for Thunder, does the fielding at backwards spelling. But I mean, what am I meant to do? 2 17s. Okay, they play different sports, so I should be able to work it out. But with just a different first name, I mean, goodness me. As in comes Emma Lamb to bowl, and this one is played away, twiddled away, down towards third by Tammy Beaumont. It was a late cut and didn't quite get the power that she had with the stroke into the leg side earlier in the over. She's looking for a third just in case. She just sort of turned stylishly, almost as if kind of she was on a night out and trying to show off the moves there to try and get back for the third, but Claridge sensibly went, nah, I don't think I'm getting back for that one. 43 for 1. The scoreboards are different, which is alarming me slightly. But 43 for 1 we'll settle for. We'll go with the electronic one. That's what it says on the screen as well, which is also important, as this one is swept away behind square on the leg side. 4 runs! It goes all the way for 4. 47 for 1. Lightning already approaching the 50 mark, and they're well up with the rate they require, but they're also ahead of the rate with 1 ball left in this over that Thunder were going at, and perhaps Lamb and Boyce were maybe not going quick enough at the start, despite the impressiveness of the start. We've got 1 ball to go here, and at the 5 over, at the 6 over mark, as this one is dropped. It's dropped up at long on. Phoebe Graham had moved there. Beaumont's hit it. Graham's a tall figure. She threw herself full length. She got to it, and having got there, she probably would have expected to cling on. Instead, it's a single, 48 for 1, and that already surpasses the power play score that Thunder made after 6 overs of 40 for none. So they're ahead in those terms. They're up with the rate. They're at 9.60 after 5 overs with that 48 for 1. But that moment there, dropped catch. We talked about drop catches in the Lightning innings. We've seen the first one, and it's happened earlier in this second innings when Thunder have been in the field.
Yep, and again, is it going to cost them? You know, Lightning have got the momentum here as Hartley comes into the mix. And she's just going to replay that ball as Beaumont put her foot back and distracted her a little bit. So she's going to come in again. And she's really thrown her off here, so...
I think these two, they know each other well, and they're having a little bit of cat and mouse, a bit of fun and games.
So Hartley comes in with her left arm spin. Beaumont looks to push it out, but it just goes for a dot ball here.
It was barely worth waiting for.
Yeah, it's so anticlimactic. So Lightning 48 for 1. So Hartley's just making some adjustments in her field, bringing up Boyce.
Yeah, coming into mid-on, and it's point going back on the boundary.
So left arm spin again from Hartley comes in. Beaumont tries to just cut it out there, but again, no run at the moment. So 48 for 1.
Another horrible bounce there for Laura Jackson. Did well. She sort of wore it almost on the bicep. It almost like tensed her bicep. And
as Hartley comes in once again. Beaumont uses her feet but edges it behind. Claridge must put her back down there. She gets in absolutely fine in the end there. But interesting shot from Beaumont. Not sure she meant that. She's re-practicing it there in the crease.
Well, dropped on 21. That's on 21. That's her first run since.
Hartley to Claridge, who sweeps it across, and it will just be the single. Beaumont returning to strike, and the score is 50 for 1. So Lightning have brought up their 50. Beaumont is currently on 22 and Claridge on 15, and it'll be Beaumont facing the bowling of Hartley, who decides to just come around.
She's playing with Beaumont here.
So left arm, and it's a dot ball, well respected again from Beaumont. Like I said, a game of cat and mouse here for sure. They're very familiar with one another.
Well, 16 deliveries. She's already got 22. She doesn't need to be getting out to Alex Hartley. He's back over the wicket.
A big shout of weight there from Tammy Beaumont as Hartley goes for another dot ball.
I think at the end of this game, it'll be well worth just, we see Alex Hartley, just asking her about, did she enjoy that over just there? It was the 6th, the last of the power play, to Tammy Beaumont, her mate, kept the scores within 10 of each other of what they were. 40 without loss from the power play for Thunder, 50 for 1 from the power play for Lightning, so they're ahead in those terms. They're certainly up with the rate that they require to chase down this 153. They need another 103 more, but that was class, wasn't it? That was two people who'd won the World Cup together, going at it against each other, really sort of putting pressure on each other. There was lots of flight from Hartley. She mixed up which side of the wicket she bowled. She held on to it a few times as Jones comes into bowl to Claridge. Maybe that's the next generation, as there's an appeal, but not a... It was a hopeful appeal, I think, is the correct way of describing that. Claridge on 15 off 12 now.
Yep, and Lightning are obviously chasing their first win of the Charlotte Edwards Cup as well, so...
Yeah, it would mean a lot to them. They did well to pull it back in the first innings of this game, and in the second innings of this game they look in a dominant position, 51 for 1, but it's T20 cricket, it can change like that.
It absolutely can, like we saw in that first innings. Obviously the opening pair here have tried to accelerate a bit quicker, but anything can happen.
That's why we absolutely love it, as this one's reverse swept by Tammy Beaumont. That's a really neat stroke. It's not going to go all the way though, it's the longer side of the ground, and it's gone... Obviously the reverse sweep, it was a paddled reverse sweep rather than the strongly hit ones we saw from Emma Lamb from either end of the ground in the first innings. It still takes a couple more though onto the total from Beaumont, 53 for 1. There's a glance at the game I'm going to be at tomorrow, the Lancashire-Essex game. Might not go to tomorrow at this rate. So I might get a day off after all, who knows. As Hannah Jones comes into bowl here from the Bennett end. Beaumont's down the track, didn't quite get there. Good bowling from Hannah Jones, just pulled it back. More importantly though, the Charlotte Edwards Cup, the other match has been played at the moment. Central Sparks have set 154 to win for the Sunrisers, as this one is inside edged horribly. It was the sort of ball where I was expecting to see the little white bails off the top of the 3 big sticks in the ground, but just enough bat on it from Beaumont. She survived. She's on 24. Better over from Jones. She's pulling her team back into this at the moment, but Lightning still have the wickets in hand, and they are winning the game of the weather conditions at the moment. But as we say, even in the space of an over, it's getting tighter. One more to the total from Beaumont's sweep. 54 for 1. Beaumont has 25. She retains the strike. Claridge has 16 off 13. We have had 7 overs of this reply. It's very, very... Well, it's brought it back, I think I would say, to closer to even Stevens. Lightning are 54 for 1. Thunder were 49 without loss. Elsewhere then, Sunrisers 14 without loss. After 3 overs against Central Sparks at Edgbaston. You can catch that game with Claire Jenkins and Sarah Ginn. And up at Chester-le Street, Diamonds 25 without loss, chasing 127 to beat the Southern Vipers. Very gettable indeed, that game with Kevin James and Jem Green.
Perfect, and we've got a change of ends for Lamb, who comes into bowl, bowls it down the leg side, and it gets absolutely clattered down for 4 from Tammy Beaumont. So Emma Lamb on at this pavilion end.
Clattered was exactly the right word, because having had the battle with Hartley, they've changed the bowling, they've gone for Lamb, another one who'll be familiar with Beaumont from England duty, although of course they've not yet won a World Cup together. Who knows, they might in the future. But straight away, facing Jones, she got the reverse sweep out, looked like she had a lot more freedom, and she looked like she had a lot more freedom with that 4 against Lamb there.
Yeah, so Lamb comes in again. And Beaumont again on the back foot, hits it down to Boyce for the single.
Cracked it away that time, didn't he? You really sort of heard it come off the bat. Bang!
The middle was sounding very nice. I think it's a Grey Nix, isn't it?
I was going to say, I imagine Tammy Beaumont probably gets her choice of what bat she wants.
As Lamb comes in. Again, it's sliding down leg side, and Claridge hits it out to Sachi Pai out in the deep for a single. So really good here from Lightning, just rotating a strike as we move on to 60 for 1. There's a lot of noise down there from the Lightning players in the dugouts as well, which is obviously good to hear.
You said it, Hannah Thompson-Radford from Women's Cricket Chat. It will be their first win. They didn't win a single game in the competition last year. They haven't won one yet this year. That's what that sound was. It was okay, we're in a good position. We think we can win this, but we really want to make sure.
Lamb comes in once again. And Beaumont again uses her feet nicely, hits it out just for a single. Again, if they just can keep rotating the strike, that's all they need to do at this stage. 61 for 1. Claridge now facing on 17. Beaumont has taken her score to 31 as Lamb is going to bowl from the pavilion end. And it's gone aerial. Claridge has managed just to find the gap in front of the fielder, but a slightly risky shot there. Didn't quite get her hands through it enough. Was probably looking to hit over the top and trying to get over that boundary rope, but she's safe at the moment.
It's so deceptive, the difference between the sides of the boundaries.
Lamb comes in once again. Again, just moving it down that leg side, and Claridge... Beaumont, on strike that time, manages to get the boundary and takes her score to 35. Lightning 66 for 1.
So light on her feet, isn't she, Tammy Beaumont? Just back into the crease there. Could have, I think, quite easily sprung a couple of yards down it and gone and hit that one on the full, but as soon as she realised it was short, right back in the crease, bang!
She's so good with her feet, and she's got so much experience, obviously.
Again on the replay, bang! Really good cricketer.
She didn't even look to run. She knew where that was going.
And all of a sudden, those two boundaries, she's back up to 35 of 25, and that's why she was just patting Alex Hartley back.
Yeah, and you mentioned about Lightning obviously cheering because they're in such a good position and stuff, but it's important to note as well the change, not only in players but staff as well. They've got a complete new look this year. New regional director, new head coach, new basically staff team. There's only 3 staff from last year as well. So a complete new culture being formed. They're building on that Lightning family vibes, and it seems like there's a good mood in camp.
So 8 runs at this stage, the difference between the two teams, and 1 wicket. It is Lightning who've conceded the 1 wicket more. They're 66 for 1, but they're 8 runs ahead of where Thunder were, and Phoebe Graham is coming on into the attack from the Bennett end, and she bowls to Claridge, who has slapped it away on the pull into the leg side. Sachi Pai did well to stop it, but it bounced, must have been right off the kneecap because it went some distance off her, and it allowed 2 runs to be taken. 68 for 1. Claridge, as you say, Hannah Thompson-Radford is hitting the ball very, very hard. As I say, with Hannah Thompson-Radford from Women's Cricket Chat and myself, Mike Perkins here at Grace Road, Leicester, as the wind blows in once more, and it's behind Phoebe Graham, who's been hit over the top by Claridge. For a second it looked as if Boyce might be involved on the edge of the ring, but not one bit of it. Couple of bouncers away for 4 runs. Claridge very happy with that indeed, and much like Beaumont's gone up to strike rate in the previous over, Claridge doing the same now. 72 for 1. Claridge is 24 off 17, and to a very good bowler indeed, a bowler who took 13 wickets in the northern section of the county T20 on the way to the Lancashire victory in that competition. Of course, Lancashire team up with Cumbria and Cheshire for the regional stuff. That's what we're watching today in the Charlotte Edwards Cup, the 20 over competition. As Thunder got their first win last time, get another wicket here. They got a win against the Northern Diamonds, and they're going to need more bowling like that from Phoebe Graham, and that's why she got 13 wickets in the county competition, because she's accurate. She bowls at the stumps, and she hit the base of them there. And unfortunately for Claridge, she's out for 24 off 18, bowled by Phoebe Graham. You're itching to get in there again, Hannah Thompson, because it was another brilliant piece of bowling.
It was absolutely unreal, and she's got such a good story, hasn't she, Phoebe Graham? You know, giving up her job at Sky and joining the ranks to be a pro, and she's a player that is obviously in the latter phases of her kind of career, but obviously there's still plenty of time for her to kind of shine. But she's somebody who's stuck at it after the county days, the amateur days, the times where players had to pay for the privilege to put on their county badge. So the fact now she's reaping the rewards, I just absolutely love what she stands for, basically.
Well, the new batter is Sarah Bryce, out to the crease, and you're quite right to bring up the Phoebe Graham story there, because it's a career she didn't think she was ever going to have. She didn't think there would be professional cricket for her, but she has become a professional cricketer, and she's done very well for a team there, bowling Ella Claridge for 24 of 18 deliveries. Claridge, though, putting bat to ball. That's exactly what Lightning needed her to do, and she's done it well. Now, can Graham replicate what Cleary did and get 2 in 2? No. Bryce will flick it away into the leg side. Danny Collins is there with the fielding and the distinctive shades out there. Whips it back in. 1 taken. It's just a little flick into the leg side in the end, and then it was a flick back with the wrist of the sunglasses wearing Collins that took it into the wicket-keeper and captain Threlkeld's gloves. She's talking to her team there, looking around. It was interesting, she said in the County Cricket Matters podcast that you did in conjunction with those guys, yourself, Hannah Thompson-Radford, was on that women's cricket chat, teaming up with them as one more's taken with that pull stroke into the leg side, and it brings Bryce back onto strike, 74 for 2. That she actually thinks a wicketkeeper is a good position to be in to captain a team. I mean, I actually think in some ways it's a difficult one. You're almost too close to the action. They usually like to stand at slip or mid-off, mid-on, as Graham comes in again, and Bryce just gets her back down in time and is able to use a straight bat from the crease to play it out into the offside. 74 for 2. Were you surprised she said that? Because as I say, usually a captain will stand first slip, second slip, just sort of a bit back, or at mid-off, mid-on. I suppose you don't really have a first or a second slip in this form of the game. But yeah, what did you make of that?
Well, that was the main thing she said, to be fair, was more when it comes to being able to talk to bowlers, that's where the issue is, but she backs her vice in Georgie Boyce to be able to do that role herself. But she said she loves seeing the game from that perspective, and you can see what's going on with the ball. You can make decisions, I guess, perhaps more so about how bowlers are bowling, because you've got the best view of what the ball is doing. But she works really well and collaboratively with Georgie Boyce. So Beaumont hits that one down for 4 runs, and it's Hannah Jones on to bowl.
Yeah, nice stroke from Beaumont, just opening the face of the bat. Probably not one she'd sort of stick in her picture book and take round to show people about just what she can do when she's trying to get those contracts in the T20 leagues around the world, but a very useful one indeed, and 78 for 2 is a useful position for Lightning to be in.
So we've got Hannah Jones coming in with her spin. Beaumont uses her feet, lofts it over the top of the infield, and it's going to go for another 4. Fielder doesn't quite get there, and it looks like it's Phoebe Graham out there who couldn't quite grab it.
Might have even been Boyce, I think. Yeah, it's Georgie Boyce.
Their hair from behind for a second, because I was thinking Boyce, and then I was thinking, oh no, is it Graham? But
no, that's in your blind spot as well.
Yeah, it unfortunately
the
is.
The barrier's in the way, but no, it was. From my vantage point, I can see it was Boyce. He made 71, of course.
So Jones comes in once again, and Beaumont can just shovel it out this time. So dot ball, nice response there from Hannah Jones. So scores on 82 for 2, Beaumont's on 44 off 29, and Sarah Bryce is in with just 1 run on the board. So Jones bowls it, Beaumont paddles it back a little bit for no run.
We've got a real game in the balance here, haven't we? 2 teams making sure that they're
bit of air onto that, and Beaumont smashes it down for a single. So after a couple of dots, that's exactly what she wanted to do, just get off the strike there, let Sarah Bryce have a go.
A lovely little sort of clip sound off Beaumont's bat there. But yeah, they're just sort of, I think we've got a game on our hands here. I think Lightning are in control, but they could easily lose control. We saw with that wicket in the previous over that just pegged them back a bit.
And Threlkeld's just moving her field around at the moment. Definitely a lot of tactics on play here, as Jones comes in once again. And respect is shown by Sarah Bryce, who unfortunately has to remain on just the single run. 83 for 2 for Lightning.
Well, at the moment, with Beaumont hitting the boundaries, doesn't particularly matter. Bryce can sort of just try and feel her way into the innings, find the singles, and then go again later if she needs to. But we're at the 10 over mark, 83 for 2. So in comparison to Thunder, they were 71 without loss, so they had the wickets in hand, which, to be fair, they didn't really use at the back end as well as they might have liked. That seems to be the one weakness in Thunder's game at the moment, is they struggle to use those wickets as the way they would have liked. But they're ahead on the run, so I think Lightning in control. I think poor Elizabeth Botcherby is going to have to rip up that stat she dug out about first back-to-back victories for Thunder. Sorry to Elizabeth, who I think is one of those listening to this stream as Beaumont settles for, I missed the signal, I think it was a leg by, and even on the replay Anna Harris is slightly off view, so I didn't get to catch it, but 84 for 2. Oh no, there must have been a slitherer back because she's gone on to 46, Beaumont there. As Bryce faces up, Graham steaming into bowl, and there was a huge as she let that one go. Phoebe Graham really put everything into it, but it was just played down the onside of straight, nice and quietly by Sarah Bryce. Slightly uncomfortable looking, but she'll be quite happy with what she did there. Lots of you in the comments section, lots of you watching along, nearly 600 of you, so great to have you with us as Bryce deflects it into the offside, just giving herself a bit of room to do so, and wiggles the bat to allow her to play that one away, turn it from sort of a leg stump line into the offside. 85 for 2, Beaumont back on strike, 46 from 32. As we say, has been at times, I'd have to say, is she the number 1 T20 batter at the moment, he says desperately, needing to double check that, but she certainly has been at times, as in comes Phoebe Graham, and Beaumont plays it down the onside of straight and scampers to the non-striker's end. 86 for 2, and once again the Lightning players keep the scoreboard ticking, but they've hit more boundaries, is my feeling. I've not got the exact stat in front of me on that front, but I feel as if they have. Hannah Thompson Radford, as in comes Graham again, bowl short, Bryce tries to pull it, just finds Turner, throws it back into Threlkeld, who's had the helmet on in this over, so is capless at the moment, and couldn't quite grab the ball. It was a fairly wild return, but Turner had done her job, and back of the mark for the final ball of the 11th over from the Bennett end from Phoebe Graham. Will get it to lift, and Threlkeld thought because of that lift there might have even been a whisper of bat on it, but there wasn't. It was just a brute of a ball from Phoebe Graham, who was charged in from that Bennett end and really found a bit of life in the pitch. 86 for 2. A team still aren't back in command of this game as they would have liked to have been. They said the other day they felt they were 10-15 short. Well, they're looking as if they're going to be 10-15 short today. Hannah Thompson Radford, what's your view?
Yeah, but like we said, anything can happen, so we'll see how it goes. A wicket could change anything here, and it looks like Laura Jackson's going to be coming on, and we saw how good she was in the last match against Diamonds for the Thunder. But these two batting at the moment, they've got experience with each other back in the county days with Kent. You know, they're not strangers, they work well together. So they'll be looking to build a partnership, and Beaumont will be facing, and she's just 3 away from her own half century, her personal little milestone there, but of course it's more about the team, and Lightning are 86 for 2.
Just the 3 runs from that last over though, so that's what Thunder need. They need more overs like that if they're to win this game.
As Jackson comes in, slightly wide, and it is going to be called a wide. So it's just outside that blue little line on the offside there.
So pressure on Jackson here, which is what you want to see in the competition.
So still 6 balls of the over. Jackson comes in, and again it looks a little bit wide, and the umpire has called it wide. So she'll want to just take a moment and re-find that spot.
Brilliant that 176 of you have hit that like button. Brilliant to have nearly 600 of you with us currently on a busy afternoon of Charlotte Edwards Cup cricket.
Jackson storms in again, much better but Beaumont absolutely drives that through for a boundary, 4 runs, absolute class, and with that she brings up her 50. So Beaumont now turns to 51 off of 34 balls, Lightning on 92 for 2. She raises her bat, and another class innings from the England international.
Every time she just plays one of those strokes on the floor, either driving off the back foot or front foot, you just see all the class from Tammy Beaumont.
Absolute textbook. So Jackson looks for a reply, and Tammy Beaumont just slightly edges it behind and gets another boundary. Threlkeld looking slightly disappointed there. Jackson also head slightly down, thinking, "Cool, that could have potentially ended up in the hands."
Fine margins, but they go in the way of Tammy Beaumont.
Yeah, sometimes luck is on your side.
As I say, she has been #1 T20 batter in the world. I
She
believe,
has been, yeah.
And she's obviously been the 50 over #1 as well. Currently, though, and given the class we've seen in this over, I suppose you could make an argument that the last 4 wasn't quite the cleanest, but given the class of that cover drive, for instance, only 17th in the rankings currently.
Yeah, she had a bit of a dry spell, I guess.
Yeah, 580 points. I'm sure that's not runs. They have these points. Yeah, rating of 580.
Jackson comes in once again.
So a little way off Beth Mooney, who's currently top, 724. Then Lanny, unsurprisingly, it's 2 Australians at the top, 714, given their form at the moment. Then Shafali Verma, 710, the Indian batter, and then Smriti Mandana, 695 at 4, and Sophie Devine is 5th with 694.
So Beaumont's still facing. Jackson comes in a little bit shorter, and she cuts it again for another boundary. Tammy Beaumont has played herself in here. She's storming along. 59 on the board off 37 balls, and the 100 comes up for Lightning for the 2 wickets. Sarah Bryce at the moment, not much to do. Sits on 2 off 7 balls, admiring the work of Beaumont. So vice captain for Thunder, Boyce has come over to Jackson, having a little word.
100 up. That's the figure that matters. I don't know what those ratings mean in the T20 batting things. They're just random numbers to me. They mean that those players are very good players. But the one that matters at the moment is 100 for 2, and Lightning are on course for victory, and this over's really sending them there. And for as good a game as Laura Jackson had against Diamond, she's really struggling today.
Yep, she's going to come and look for a response here. And she takes the wicket of Beaumont. Beaumont skies it up, and that is one way to reply. So after having a word with Georgie Boyce, movement in the field, it's completely paid off. Danielle Collins with the catch as Thunder celebrate in the middle there. So absolutely phenomenal response there from Laura Jackson. She could have easily had her head held down, but no, she's responded superbly, and Catherine Bryce will be going out to join sister Sarah Bryce in the middle as Tammy Beaumont walks off with hopefully a big round of applause, but she's just having a little chat to Bryce a second. But yeah, it looks like the smattering of fans in the crowd are going to stand up and give her an applause.
Well, that was almost the reverse commentator's curse. I was saying Jackson was struggling, and then she picks up a wicket. How good is that for her? She's had an over where she's been hit for, well, she's bowled 2 wide. She's been hit for 3 fours by the England international with 99 T20 caps and another 100 in other formats, so 199 England caps in total for Tammy Beaumont. And she's hit her for 3 fours in an over, but a mistimed pull admittedly, but Laura Jackson has kept to her task, and she has picked up the wicket, caught Danielle Collins up at mid-on, and Beaumont has had to depart for 59 of the bowling of Jackson, who's on her way again.
Yeah, so it gets sliced away by sister Catherine, who gets off the mark with a 4, and that kind of concludes Jackson's over here. Not the best, but won't be complaining, taking the scalp of Tammy Beaumont, another England international for her collection. So within the last 2 matches, she's had Winfield Hill, Nat Siver, and now Tammy Beaumont. So she'll be pretty happy with that despite the circumstances, and hopefully Thunder now can give a good response in this next over to get themselves back in it.
Yeah, they're running out of runs to play with though. The target is 153, 104 already on the board in just the 12th over, and I think that's the problem really. She might have got the international out there, added that to her collection, but they're going to need something special from Alex Hartley here, and it's almost a case of the Bryce sisters here can pat this one back, maybe just take 2 or 3 singles and just sort of negate the threat that Alex Hartley poses. She's been the pick of the bowlers so far for me, with 2 overs for just 4 runs and 1 wicket. We'll bring you the details of Beaumont's innings in just a moment, as well as this one is cut away behind square on the offside. Phoebe Graham picks up. It's back to Ellie Threlkeld, and yeah, details of the Beaumont innings before being caught by Collins off the bowling Jackson. 59 from 38 balls as Hartley bowls now to Sarah Bryce, who's backing away but can only find Emma Lamb at short extra cover. Hit 11 fours in that innings, batted for 47 minutes, a strike rate of 155.26, which is where she'd probably want it to be, as Hartley bowls, and it's clipped just over the top by by Sarah Bryce. Catherine Bryce coming to the striker's end. That's going to happen once or twice before the end of this game. 105 for 3. It was maybe even. I'm sure Alex Hartley would tell you it was an inside edge there, but a good healthy one that took it over Turner in the short mid-wicket position. Here comes Hartley again as silence falls at Grace Road, bar the sound of the ball on bat. I think there's just a feeling on the Lightning bench down below us that this over is crucial in the game, and they just need to get through it without losing a wicket. They're doing that so far. Catherine Bryce, who hit her first ball for 4, and she's trying to turn that down the leg side. Doesn't connect, but doesn't matter because she gets another ball and a run to the total. It was a wide, 106 for 3, and all of a sudden it's getting to the point where I don't think I'm even going to need the grid with the last 30 balls to pull out in the last 5 overs to keep track of it, because Lightning look in control and they are negotiating this Alex Hartley over well. Catherine Bryce picks up her single, 107 for 3, so they've got 3 off it. They'll be happy with that. There's just 1 ball remaining in the over. The chase 153, remember, 107 on the board as it's forced away off the back foot. There was an ooh from Alex Hartley, but I think that was her trying to create something. 3 overs then, 7 for 1 her figures. 46 more needed here by Lightning for their first victory in the Charlotte Edwards Cup. I mean, we can't overstate what that one means.
And it really opens up their group as well. It's going to be so hotly contested. If teams are winning 1, losing 1, you know, it's going to send so many different opportunities and a mixed bag as we kind of conclude into the final stages. But Hannah Jones here again with the ball from the pavilion end. And it's Catherine Bryce on strike. And she'll take the single after pushing it back. So scores on 108 for 3. As Hannah Jones retakes her mark and she comes in with her spin. Sarah Bryce tries to get it away but doesn't get to put much on it, unfortunately. Bit of a screams in the field, but no runs taken. 108 for 3 for the Lightning.
I think she knew it was missing leg stumps, so I had a swing, but I think she'd have alarmed a few on the bench.
And she comes out and attacks the one off Jones and finds the boundary rope there. So Sarah Bryce with the 4, little fist bump with sister Catherine in the middle there.
Nice stroke, came down, met it on the full. She had a swing at the last one because it was missing. She certainly had a swing at that one, regardless of where it was going.
Yep,
but the other thing to mention about the Lightning getting their first win here, they will have done it when an opening partnership against them of 130. So to come from that position to win this will mean even more, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. As Jones comes in once again. Bryce has to go.
Bold.
Bolder.
Catherine Bryce has come down. Sarah Bryce. Oh, he said it'd happen again. Has come down the track and missed it. And she's bowled. She's out.
Yeah, there was a moment there where everybody kind of looked stunned, so I wasn't too sure what kind of had gone on there, but completely missed the ball and bowled by Jones. She was trying to make something happen, trying to work the ball like she was previously, but unfortunately just completely missed it. And we'll see it on the replay here. Yeah, so it takes a couple steps, swings, misses, and Jones picks up her scalp. So Lightning 112 for 4. Bethan Ellis comes in with captain Catherine Bryce in the middle.
Now, well ahead still in terms of runs, but 4 wickets down now means we're going down the order. So are they going to keep their nerve? We mentioned they bat deep. Bethan Ellis on her way now. They certainly bat deep, don't they? We mentioned Kelly, Beaumont, Claridge, Sarah Bryce all gone, but we've still got Catherine Bryce. We've now got the new batter as well.
As Jones comes in, and Ellis just sees that one out. Dot ball, no runs. Lightning 112 for 4. So yeah, we've got Bethan Ellis and we've still got Teresa Graves who can come in as well for the Lightning. Again, that one's just dug out. Jones will be very happy with that response there. And Lightning 112 for 4.
But that's the jeopardy, isn't it now? The fact that they haven't won a game in this format, despite being relatively decent in the Rachel Hare Flint Trophy. They've not won a 20-over game in the Charlotte Edwards Cup. They're 4 down. New batters come into the crease. Can Thunder get a bit of a squeeze on? Can they just find something here? They're running out of opportunities to find the wickets they need, but can they just keep ticking through and make this chase of 153, of which 112 have already been taken, so only 41 more are needed? Can they make it a big chase? Emma Lamb to bowl from the Bennett end, it's too short, and Catherine Bryce will pull it away into the leg side. And Lamb's perhaps a little on the lucky side that it's just 1 to Danielle Collins, who took that all-important catch to dismiss Tammy Beaumont, the top scorer in the innings so far, with 59. But Claridge supported her well with 24. And now Lightning just need 2 more batters, maybe even just 1 more batter, to take them over the finish line. Can they do it? Ellis has taken her guard and she's settling in. And Lamb's on her way, and the tension seems to fall again around Grace Road. And well. Ellis still not off the mark and hasn't connected there. And looked in all sorts. In comes Lamb again. Sweep shot this time. And it's gone past the fielder, Hannah Jones, on the 45. It's going to be 4. Really well placed from Bethan Ellis. And as ugly as the last shot was, that I didn't even bother trying to describe what sort of a stroke it was. It was sort of a forcing kind of a prod. That was a beautiful sweep shot. She anticipated that the turn was going to take it down the leg side, and then she just dabbed it, and she dabbed it fine past Hannah Jones. 4 more to the total, 117 for 4. That is just another 37 to win. As in comes the bowling of Lamb. Gets another dot ball to a connection.
Yeah, she exposed her stumps quite a lot there as well, so to get off a mark with that kind of shot as well, she shows her confidence.
In comes Lamb again. Ellis thought about going across again. She has swept, and it's gone, agonisingly in between Turner and Threlkeld, and even worse for Threlkeld. She'll be even more disappointed that they've got back for 2. So difficult, those catches, when they go high for the wicket keepers, because it goes above the lid of the grill, the peak of the helmet, and they have to sort of tilt their heads right back to even see it. But as it came down, it was in front of her, which would have helped, but she just couldn't reach the arms out and get there. As Lamb bowls, this one's defended by Ellis down the onside of the wicket. 119 for 4 is the score after 14 overs. Lightning are getting there, but Hannah Thompson-Radford, you look to me as if you're feeling the tension of this game. They should get over the line. Sort of, it feels almost an 8-9 times out of 10 now that they will. But 34 needed off 6 overs. It's not even 1 a ball, but
I've seen
still tense.
Yeah, I've seen far too many twists in T20 cricket to get too confident for either side. And I think that's what makes T20 cricket so interesting, isn't it? Like, anything can happen here. One wicket can change the game, a few boundaries can change the game. You know, like, it's so exciting, and we've got such a good match to
Alex
watch here.
Hartley can turn a game, can't she? The spinner coming on from the pavilion end.
Yeah, she certainly can, and I think her bowling seems to have improved so much as well, considering taking that step back from captaincy and stuff, and she's just fully focused as she comes in to bowl her left arm. As she juggles it back for just a dot for 119 for 4 for Lightning. Another good start from Hartley. And again she comes in, and Catherine Bryce just pings it behind, and they're looking for 2, and they do come back for 2. There's a little bit of hesitation from Ellis, but the 2 communicated in the end and got back as the score goes on to 121 for 4.
I mean, you say that not having the captaincy sort of frees her up, but
as Bryce again tries to find the gap but finds the fielder. Hartley again collecting those dot balls at the moment.
But I did see her take 4 for 8 in the Rachel Hayer Flint Trophy against Lightning in its inaugural season.
So Bryce uses her feet, drills it down the ground, and hasn't quite found the boundary. Top work out there from Georgie Boyce. Throws it in, and it looks like the pair will get 2. So Hartley will be very happy with that, bowling to her field.
Yeah, I thought they must have got back for 3 there, but it's the short side of the ground. Boyce doing very well, keeps it to 2.
And same shot again from Catherine Bryce. Ellis really running these up. But it's just the single this time.
So 1, 2, 4 for 4. But yeah, as I say, I mean, I've certainly seen Alex Hartley cause problems for Lightning before, but this is her last over.
She comes around this time, left arm. And again, a quick single from the Lightning pair.
I'm not going to say it, but you could almost say they're lightning between the stumps. Oh dear, I have said it. Oh well, 125 for 4 then. So they've added the 6 they needed pretty much from that over.
Yeah, so it was a good over from Hartley, but at the same time we're in a position here where Lightning can get away with that, and that's all they need. Unfortunately, we need it a little bit tighter from the Thunder, and we obviously need that breakthrough.
And having said we wouldn't need the grid, I didn't write one out, and we're now at a situation where there are 28 runs to win off 24 balls, so slightly above 1 a ball. And we will write the grid out now just to make sure we're following it ball by ball for this tense finish. Good reverse sweep from Bethan Ellis. It brings a single to Phoebe Graham. And the single means it's 1. It means it's 27 off 23 is the easiest way of looking at it. 1, 2, 6 for 4.
And she's so quick running, Bethan Ellis.
Here's Lamb again. Bowls a floaty off spinner that's hit into the offside with composure from Catherine Bryce. It's 4 runs. It's 4 very, very valuable runs. 130 for 4. 23 needed off 22. It's back the right side of 1 a ball as far as Lightning are concerned. Tense though here.
They don't have to do too much. Keep it simple, don't overcomplicate it, but it's easy for us to say up here. But Catherine Bryce has been in this situation many times for both country, county and for Lightning in the past too. So she's very well experienced. She might be just a youngster still herself, under the 25 category. 23 or 24 I think she is, and she will certainly be trying to steer her side home. Captain innings, we hope.
It's easy to say, but it doesn't make it any less true. Lamb bowls to Bryce, played away up to long on the sweep. An unusual place for a sweep to go, but it's valuable for Lightning. It's 2020 cricket. The ball can go in all sorts of peculiar places. It's all about how many you get. 1, 3, 1 for 4. 22 off 21. as he checks the screen to confirm that that is indeed the equation. Swept hard towards Sachi Pai, out at backward square leg. Another 1 to the total. 1-3-3 for 4. 1-3-2 for 4, sorry. 21 off 20 required. Here's Lamb, floats it up again. Brave ball, she was hit for 4 doing that last time, but she's been hit for 4 again. The applause will tell you down below us at the pavilion end. But it's the bowling from the Bennett end of Emma Lamb which has been hit for 4. 1-3-6 for 4. And now 17 required of 19 deliveries. Hannah Thompson-Radford lightning ahead. But you're right, it's tense, isn't it?
It's so tense here, you can feel it.
Lamb bowls. Bryce cracks it. Sort of almost getting into a pull position, but it hadn't quite bounced enough. So she just had to settle for hitting it down the ground. 22 she moves on to. Another 1 off that total. 3 overs left, 16 to win off 18 balls. So we've got all the numbers written out on my pad here, right the way through to number 1. How far do you think we're going to get on this, Hannah Thompson-Radford? Are we going to get into the last 6, or is one of them going to try and go big in one of the 2 overs before then?
Well, they really don't need to go big at the moment, so hopefully they've had a conversation in the middle there and they've just said, let's keep our heads, keep it ticking over, and if they want to do anything fancy at the end, they'll hopefully have plenty of wickets and plenty of ball spares to do so, but they don't need to do anything stupid. Like we saw how close matches that look like they're going one way can definitely turn another way.
Well, it's going to be very close right to the end then if they do that. I mean, the modern way is try and win it with an over to spare, isn't it? It's go hard in the penultimate over, try and finish it. But will they? Will they have the bravery needing their first win in the Charlotte Edwards Cup?
So Phoebe Graham comes in a little bit short, a little bit wide, but the umpires kept their arms down, so it must have been within those blue lines.
Maybe they felt the batter moved, but
Perhaps.
I'm watching the replay. The batter didn't move. The foot of Catherine Bryce was still on middle stump. I'm very surprised our umpire hasn't given a wide there, I have to say, but there
Might
we
have
go.
got away with that. As Graham comes in again, a bit fuller this time, and Bryce hits it down the ground, and it looks like it's going to go for 4. A much needed boundary to see this innings to a conclusion, but still need runs on the board. 141 for 4, and Lightning are edging ever closer. So 16 balls remaining, 12 runs to win it. So just for 2 big shots, if they want to go for a stylish win, 2 sixes would be nice. As Graham comes in, Bryce facing and cuts behind. Ball moves a little bit, but it's just a single.
So having said they should inch it there in ones, Hannah Thompson-Radford.
I know.
You've now said 2 big hits. It's done. It's done.
I know. Naughty,
11
isn't
off
it?
15.
But yeah, if they want to go out stylish, 11 runs to win.
We all like to finish it with style, don't we? We all like to just smash one over the fence.
As Graham comes in with her pace. And again it goes backwards for a single. And considering Bethan Ellis was a little bit shaky on her start, she's done really well to find her composure and support Catherine Bryce really nicely here. So 10 runs to win it, 14 balls remaining.
She's done exactly the right thing. She's just put Catherine Bryce on strike, who's hitting the boundaries.
As Graham comes in, Bryce facing, who hits it straight out. Fielder there, Sachi Pai will throw it in. Lightning are looking for 2, and they make it back safely.
Right out, square on the leg side. Pai round from backward square leg to do the fielding. But 2 more valuable runs, and it ticks it on to
8 runs to win it for Lightning, and it will be their first Charlotte Edwards Cup win, a much needed win if they want to stay in contention for that finals day. 13 balls remaining, Graham with ball in hand as she runs in. Bryce on strike, just finds the inside of her leg. It looks as she was trying to again push that ball across to the leg side.
153 the target then, 145 for 4 on the board. 8 needed from 12 balls. For me, this game should be done. They should win it with 6 balls to spare. They should win it this over, I would have thought. They might need a couple of that final over, but they've got to get there now, haven't they?
Yeah.
They're not going to have a better opportunity to win a game of Charlotte Edwards Cup cricket, although maybe Sunrisers were thinking that in the other day when they had 3 needed off 1 ball and it got hit up to long on, and of course we saw the overthrows. Drama can happen in this competition, we know that. What we'll do is, because we have been so enthralled by the second half of this, we haven't given you many scores, so we're going to see Sophia Turner. It's going to be pressure on her coming back into the attack. So far has bowled the 1 over and it went for 14 runs. Now she only has 8 to defend. Elsewhere, Sparks versus Sunrisers is the game at Edgbaston. You can hear that with Claire Jenkins and with Sarah Ginn. Doesn't look like Sunrisers will get there today. They need 60 from 4.3 overs. They are 94 for 6. So that one going the way of Central Sparks, who've been in very impressive form in this competition. As waiting now is Bethan Ellis, and does what she's done since she's come to the crease. Tucks it away for 1. She's 11 off 12, but she knows now just 7 runs needed off 11 balls. Catherine Bryce on strike. The other game ongoing is Northern Diamonds, who are 92 for 3, needing 35 from 4.3 overs, looking a very good chance of chasing down the Southern Vipers 127. That would really bring this group back together as Turner bowls. There's an appeal for caught behind, it's out! There's another twist in the tail. Catherine Bryce caught for 29 by the superb glove work of the Thunder captain, Ellie Threlkeld. And with 7 needed of 10 balls, it should be a formality for Lightning, but they're going to need another batter. They're going to need Teresa Graves to stride out there and find those final 7 runs with the company of the not-out batter, Bethan Ellis. But Catherine Bryce, who's been so good with her boundaries, is out. She's striding off the pitch, gloves in hand, the helmet strap undone. She'll be gutted not to see it through, despite the warm applause from her Lightning teammates. Hannah Thompson-Radford, what about that? Another just a little twist, just keeping Lightning waiting.
I told you, there's so many twists in T20 cricket. It's hard, isn't it? It's hard to confirm what's going to happen. Teresa Graves coming in, obviously she can also hit a ball hard, so we'll see what she's going to be about. Is she going to go for it from the start here, or is she going to just try and trickle this over? Because they only need 7 from 10, so less than a run a ball will do it. But obviously we don't want it to get that tight, I don't think, if you're a Lightning fan.
No, certainly Lightning will not want it. Very good to have nearly 700 with you on a busy day, with us on a busy day of cricket. We've certainly been entertained. Catherine Bryce, though, out caught Ellie Threlkeld off the bowling of Sophia Turner, who went for 14 in her first over. But that's the plight of a T20 bowler. She's back in the game now. She's bowling, and Teresa Graves has forced it off the back foot, away into the offside. Picks up 1. 6 needed.
Slight hesitation there as well. Could have got the run out potentially if they're a bit quicker, but, you know, it's so tense.
6 needed. 9 balls remaining. Only 8 of those numbers left on my pad for us to use. 1 wicket, 1 is what's happened this over. Lightning won't run out of wickets here, but will they get the runs they need? Bethan Ellis, who's been getting 1s throughout her innings, has now lost Catherine Bryce, and she's got a 4, and it's unfortunately due to a misfield from Phoebe Graham, who came back so well, bowling that Yorker ball that brought Thunder back into the game, but she's misfielded at a crucial moment, and now just the 3 runs needed for victory. And Bethan Ellis, credit to her, she was at least going to get 2 there. She's been knocking it along with 1s, but she knows her angles, doesn't she? It's a big field here at Grace Road, particularly on the offside when she's facing the bowling from the Bennett end. And oh, poor Phoebe Graham, just in the tension of it all, has not kept her eye on the ball. And that's what can happen. There'll be obvious questions about the fielding there, but the tension has slightly gone out of this game, and it's going to be one with another 4 down to 3rd. Backing away was Bethan Ellis. And wow, what an innings that is. Only 19 runs, but off 14 balls, she was going along. She was 11 of 12 balls, just giving the strike to her partner, Catherine Bryce, who was out in that, what has proved to be the final over of the game. But Bethan Ellis with 2 fours has won it for her team, and she has given Lightning their first victory in the Charlotte Edwards Cup. Hannah Thompson-Radford next to me is capturing the moment. You're seeing the moment there again on the replay. Just what will that mean to the team in purple with those pink pads out there to have won their first game in this competition? And if Diamonds go on to win, it brings everybody back together on 5 points, bar Vipers, who have 10.
It absolutely certainly does. It really creates a mix in this group. But looking down at the Lightning players at the moment, they're jumping up and down, embracing, big smiles. Tammy Beaumont's just high-fived Sally Clark, the team manager, down there. Big cuddles again. Kirsty Gordon, who's currently injured at the moment, having another embrace. But the smiles are huge on their faces. Disappointment on the Thunder, who come off the back of a win. But for Lightning, this is huge.
And I've had a brief insight into, you know, just how hard they work as we've been sort of setting up these streams. And I know people will begin to drift away from us now as they've seen the final result. Make sure you hit the little thumbs up as you go, because it helps people find us in future. Subscribe to make sure you know when these games are on. There are other games going on in the Charlotte Edwards Cup at the moment. You can go and check out whether Northern Diamonds can get over the line. They need 29 from just under 3 overs to beat the Southern Vipers and chase down 127, and they would go up to 9 points just behind the Vipers, who would be on 10, and then we'd have these two teams both on 5. But you get just a little insight to how much work goes into a win like that. I mean, it's hard to overestimate it, isn't it, Hannah?
Yeah, and obviously for Lightning, fresh new look, like we mentioned earlier. They've got new staff members, new players. They've been hunting this down for quite a while, and you know, now they've got this. Let's see what will happen next time they come out in purple, and hopefully build on this game today, get that momentum going, and really mix things up in the Charlotte Edwards Cup.
5 wickets, the margin of victory for Lightning over Thunder. They take, well, I've been saying they take 5 points, but of course they don't. They take 4 points because they won't get the bonus point. It's a tight finish, this one. There's no 1.2, you need to be 1.25 ahead of your opponent's run rate, so they'll just take the 4 points, in fact. But they're a crucial 4 points. It's a crucial win. It's their first win